Good morning. It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Happy Christmas to you. The show is brought to you by Better Water, LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We got Joan Jones in the newsroom. Mason Fleming is producing. And my wonderful 11-year-old beautiful daughter, Kennedy Hand, is in studio. What's up, Kennedy?
Hi, how are you guys?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you. We got a full show today. My friend Danielle Chaffin, who is a trucking and logistics expert, is going to be joining the show at 9:35. We're going to have a great conversation with Danielle. All we want for Christmas is illegal aliens off the road. We're also going to be having a conversation with Josh Tifo today, Senior Director for Turning Point USA, talking about the AmFest aftermath and what went into planning and what happened behind the scenes at AmFest. We'll be talking about that as well. But first and foremost, we got Kennedy in here. We're going to do a little bit of Christmas programming. What's up, Kay? How are you?
We're good.
We're live on YouTube, Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you. We're going to talk about our Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies. Do you have a Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies, Mason?
I don't know if I have a Mount Rushmore, but I definitely got like a top few that I'm a big fan of.
Okay.
Some must-watches for the year.
So are you ready for my Mount Rushmore?
I'm here for it.
So I'm just going to let you guys know. And I'm just going to let everybody know just off the jump. My Mount Rushmore is better than Kennedy's.
Oh, we'll see about that.
I think
Get him, Kennedy.
The audience loves you. I'm telling you, you're going to get to number 2 on your list. They're going to turn on you. This audience, they're sweet. They're amazing. They're vicious, too. They can be vicious.
Yeah.
People be texting.
People be texting mean things. Did you know that? People be texting. All right, so here's my Christmas movie Mount Rushmore. You ready? This is a definitive list. Number 1, Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Ugh.
There's no better. Joan, did you accidentally leave your mic on?
I intentionally huffed.
Okay.
That was a scoff.
I think I'm with her.
Christmas Story is one of the greatest movies of all time. How dare you? Mm-hmm. How dare you? Mm-hmm. I've gone through. I get teary eyed now. I've gone through it. I've associated myself with every character in the movie growing up. It's like for a while I was the little brother, then I was the big brother, and then now I'm the dad.
Did you ever stick your tongue to a metal pole?
Yes, but that's a story for a different day.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like today's the perfect day for that. What are you talking about?
Number 2 on my Christmas movie Mount Rushmore, It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
It's a classic.
I'm here for that.
I'm getting a head shake from the 11-year-old. You don't understand it yet. When I was 11, I didn't like it either.
Yeah, same.
I've also made them watch the colorized version. Have you made the kids watch the colorized version? It pulls the kids in a little bit more when it's not black and
It's
white.
really not too bad.
No, I like the colorized
It looks
version.
Yeah.
good, but I'm a sucker for the black and gray.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that's what I grew up watching. It's what my dad's favorite version of it is, and so it's what is always on whenever I watch it.
So Christmas Story, It's a Wonderful Life. Number 3 on my Mount Rushmore for Christmas movies, Home Alone.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
I'm here for
It actually is a Christian movie. Did you know that? Have you seen that on the internet?
I have.
Old Man Marley is the Jesus figure when you first see him. When you first see Old Man Marley in the movie, he's salting the earth.
Uh-huh.
He has a conversation with Kevin in a church. He's got the injury on his hand that's never addressed that is like Jesus's nails.
Okay.
Oh.
There's like a lot of crazy things. You should Google that when you get a chance.
Okay.
So Home Alone is a Christmas movie. And then they actually edited out some stuff from the original script where they were going to have a much more in-depth conversation about Jesus in the church.
Interesting.
So satanic movie industry removing that. But,
Yeah, I'm here for the director's cut.
Yeah. And then my number 4, I think this is my most controversial pick, Jingle All the Way.
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think that's good.
Sinbad. If you're a 90s kid, I don't think that there's a better Christmas movie out there. I love Jingle All the Way.
Kennedy, I'm so sorry for you.
That's like my least favorite Christmas
Yeah.
movie.
Every year. How many times do I make you watch that movie?
Oh my gosh, like every day.
I'm like, you guys want to watch a Christmas movie? And instinctively, the kids will say, please not Jingle All the Way. I'm like,
That's so funny.
Well, there's only 3 others that are better.
Yeah.
I would say I could easily add Christmas Vacation or the Santa Claus to the list. I think you can make the argument for either.
Okay.
But you're very judgy, Kennedy. So why don't you tell us your list of your Christmas movie Mount Rushmore?
Okay, so number 1 is Home Alone
Okay, that's fair.
because you can't go wrong with that. And then number 2 is the Santa Claus 3.
Okay.
Oh,
So this is
Hold on.
see what I'm saying? Like we're off the rails. We're instantly off the rails. Not the Santa Claus,
oh, Kennedy.
not the original. The Santa Claus 3.
Well, I like the guy that plays Jack Frost.
Martin
So-
Short.
And that's fair. Martin Short's an excellent comedian. He's an excellent actor.
He's my favorite
This
character.
is your
That's
Mount
his worst
Rushmore.
role.
This
Yeah,
is Mount
this is my
Rushmore.
favorite.
That would be like Joe Biden in South Dakota on Mount Rushmore. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yes, it is a Christmas movie. Yes, he was the president, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't put him on the mountain.
Wait a minute, you shouldn't be here.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Okay, so we have Home Alone, The Santa Claus 3.
Again. Kennedy, you're losing the audience. Yeah, I'm just.
Okay, then we have
What's number 3?
Christmas Chronicles.
Christmas Chronicles.
I am not familiar.
Tell Joan about
So
Christmas Chronicles.
good. Okay, so it's where this little girl's dad just died, and she tries to set up a trap for Santa Claus, and then she ends up like videotaping this entire like story, and she like jumps onto Santa's sleigh and like goes, like Santa gets arrested, and they have to like get him out of jail, and it's kind of like the Santa Claus one,
It sounds like it, yeah.
but it's a little bit different. It's really
Okay.
good, though.
Yeah, that's the one with Kurt Russell in it.
Yep.
I'll
You know
give
where
that a
you know
shot.
where it's based? It's based in my place of birth, Lowell, Massachusetts.
How about that?
Yep. That's it. We only got 3 things that came out of Lowell. It's the Christmas Chronicles, Mickey Ward, and then me.
Okay, maybe 2 things.
Okay, maybe 2. All right. So you got Home Alone,
Santa Claus 3,
which is an eye roll, and then Christmas
Christmas
Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Number 4 on your Mount Rushmore.
Okay, so I was stumped on the 4th one, but I went with the Christmas Story Christmas.
Christmas Story Christmas? Mm-hmm. Okay, but you rolled your eyes at me when I said Christmas Story.
I know, I like Christmas Story Christmas though.
But that movie was created and then infused with a Christmas story.
Well, there was no girls in A Christmas Story Christmas except for the mom. But then in Christmas Story. But in Christmas Story Christmas, there's a daughter.
So it's
So-
more relatable.
So you're only liking that one more because of the equitable character selection?
Yeah, I like the characters.
I don't know, Kennedy. I don't know. What's your favorite part from A Christmas Story Christmas?
I like when he said, "Oh my gosh, I killed Jamie," or whoever it was. Julie. Julie, that's what it was.
Okay. All right.
Your favorite part is death. That's fun.
Yeah,
No,
that's how you know it's a good Christmas movie. All right, what do you guys think is on your Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies? 615-737-9986. We'll open up the phone lines to this wonderful audience. Please go easy on Christmas, on Kennedy with her number 2 Christmas movie.
on.
She can take it.
I just don't want anybody to be cursing you out.
Okay, well, if anybody agrees with me, call in
Okay.
and give a like and subscribe to the channel.
Okay, all right, there we go.
Nice.
Hit like, hit subscribe. Joan, what's your Mount Rushmore for Christmas movies?
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
It's a Wonderful Life. First movie out of the box every year.
Okay, it's acceptable.
White Christmas.
Ooh.
What's that?
I feel the same way. I don't know that one.
You need
know that
you
one.
need to inform your children. They need to be informed. Holiday Inn, number 3.
Holiday Inn. What's the Holiday Inn about?
It's
Well, it's those little
Is
hotels that appear
a-
on the corners.
Yeah, is this a Snoop Dogg song or a Christmas movie?
It's a Christmas movie.
Okay.
It's the 2 guys open an inn. Well, it's actually just one, and he opens an inn, and it's only open on the holidays. So they do, themed days, and it's back in the day where people came out to see people sing and dance, and it's really, really inappropriate because they have like scenes with people in blackface and all that. So, I keep it on.
You've piqued my interest.
Yeah.
So you're putting in an inappropriate Christmas movie?
Yes, and I
And
keep
it's
it on.
still better than Santa Claus 3.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
I keep it on Fandango at home, and before the movie shows, they have these like warnings before the show that that's inappropriate and
Those
insensitive to some
warnings
people.
mean nothing. They put it on like Lady and the Tramp now
Yes.
because of
Yeah.
the
Yes.
Italian stereotypes when they get the pasta.
It's like, you
And-
can't offend me. I can't read.
The Santa Claus is my 4th.
Santa Claus is your 4th. Okay, so just
Number 1.
okay. So you have Christmas. You have It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
You have Holiday Inn, White Christmas, and the Santa Claus.
Correct.
Santa Claus is a fantastic.
It's a good movie,
It's
but the
something.
third
It's
one's
good.
better.
We repeat like the Charlie lines all the time.
We got to do
How do
it.
you call 911? 911.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Look, Dad, it's such a clatter.
Yeah.
Randy says, "How do you communists not know about White Christmas and holiday?"
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, you communists.
1219. Yes to Jones' list. Yes to Jones' list. Which Grinch is the best Grinch, Kennedy?
The new one, the
Wrong
new cartoon
answer.
one, and I don't like the OG, but the real life.
Why
one
don't
is
you like
okay.
the OG?
Well, it's like I don't know. It's just weird. It's like oldie,
What's
old
your
timey-ish.
What's your OG though? Is that the live action one or is that the original cartoon one?
That's the original cartoon.
Okay, cool. Just had to make sure.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, me
because
too.
And when you got young kids, it's only 25 minutes long. So
That's
say,
like
can
the
we
problem,
watch
though.
one movie before bed? Deal.
Done.
Now go to bed.
Wrapped up in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
You're good.
exactly.
All right, off to bed.
That I will say, I think that the new animated Grinch is better than the Jim Carrey Grinch.
It's
Really?
pretty
That
good.
might be
Actually,
controversial.
It's really good.
They actually do mention Jesus Christ in that one as well too,
They do.
which is a bonus.
They have like they're all like caroling, singing "Oh Holy Night" and stuff like that. It's really good.
I do this a lot. They'll be watching a Christmas movie and I'll be like, does it mention Jesus? And then the other day they were watching Berenstain Bears Christmas. And so I'm walking through and I said, do you guys, does this movie mention Jesus? And my 6-year-old Bishop, he's become the biggest troll in the house. He goes, no Jesus, just cuss words. And he doesn't say anything else. He doesn't sell it at all. He doesn't stop watching the movie.
There's no explanation.
And I'm like, what? Are you trolling me? Are you trolling me
What are
right
you
now?
doing?
And then he just busted out laughing. I'm like, you can't do that.
This kid.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
So good.
Many on the text line are mad that we left off Polar Express.
Yes.
No, that's
Rightfully
the
so.
worst Christmas
I
movie.
agree. I don't think Polar Express is a good Christmas movie,
There's
and
some-
I'm tired of pretending it is.
Isn't there something
Wait,
like
the only good part is the guy with like the big long orange beard. He's funny. That's the only.
it seems
Oh,
too
the-
weirdish to me. Like the music is too out there, and it just seems like a weird movie.
Too much Tom Hanks.
Yes.
I've spent
Yeah.
too much time on the underbelly of the internet to be a Tom Hanks fan
Yes.
any
Yeah,
longer.
that's absolutely
Amen.
I don't know if any of the rumors are true, but I've read too many of them. So I'm out.
Yeah. They may all still be conspiracies, but I hold them true in my heart.
They're conspiracies, I believe. Ernest Saves Christmas, somebody recommended. Kennedy
Those-
rolls her eyes at me every time I try to make her watch Ernest Saves
Okay,
Christmas.
so I don't like the Ernest Saves Christmas. I like the Ernest Saves Halloween, and then I like because like it's funnier. The Ernest Saves Christmas, he's just like oh blah, 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 blah. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
He sounds dumb.
Yeah, he sounds
Yeah,
very
yeah.
dumb.
I
And
agree.
then they break Santa Claus out of the jail, and it's basically like a rerun of Christmas Chronicles.
Except it happened first.
So Christmas Chronicles is
Okay,
Is
well
it
then it's the
Mockery?
rerun of the Santa Claus.
Also happened. Ernest also happened first. So Santa Claus and Christmas Chronicles ripped off the movie that you don't like?
Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Christmas with the Cranks, that's okay.
Okay,
That's
no.
okay.
I was actually stumped with that one. I almost changed it. The Christmas Story Christmas and Christmas. I love the Christmas with the Cranks.
What? Really?
Yes. So good.
I do have to make a correction. Santa Claus came out before Ernest Saves Christmas.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Wow.
Santa Claus came out in 1994. Ernest came out in 1998.
Whoa.
Okay, so they did
Isn't that
copy
weird?
it. They did
okay,
copy
so the
it.
Tim Allen one feels like it stands the test of time, and it feels
Yeah.
like you're walking back in a time portal with Ernest
Whereas,
Saves Christmas.
yeah, I was like, Ernest feels like early 90s for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have thought like 91 or 92 on that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I was like, I'm curious now. And so I checked and got a 4-year difference between them.
Jason on the text line is very upset that we didn't bring up Charlie Brown's Christmas. You
Okay,
actually,
no,
So we've watched a ridiculous amount of Charlie Brown's Christmas. Just let the record show. Kennedy starred as Lucy in the Charlie Brown Christmas performance at church.
Yes.
So that, I mean, we like it. We love it.
Yeah, I
We're
think
just
it's just
A little overloaded.
it's like a little well like the cartoons like when it's like the dancing part or the ice skating part, they do the same thing over and over again, and it looks like a rewind.
Yeah, they did that because they were drawing everything by hand.
Well,
I had to save time.
There you go.
I like the Peanuts movie better. The new one, the new Charlie Brown one.
The 3D animated one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
The one
Is it-
without heart.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about Scrooge either.
I'm not a huge Scrooge fan.
No?
No, I'm not.
I love it.
I don't like Scrooge as a Christmas character. It's
That's
meh.
fair.
I think meh.
I only like him in one, and that's A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Ah,
Well, you're getting fact checked on the text line. Ernest Saves Christmas came out in 1988. Said 5284.
that's what I'm seeing.
That's what you're seeing too.
Yeah.
All right. Ha! Boom yourself, Kennedy.
What?
Ernest Saves Christmas was 88.
It is 88. I read that wrong. It looked like a 9 from the little text that I saw here.
Wait, when
So
did the Santa
Ernest
Claus
came
come out?
first, 88.
Ernest came out in 88.
Come on.
That's as old as me.
But it was still right on Santa Claus. Santa Claus came out in 94, which is still wild to me.
It's still wild.
It feels
Still
like
wild.
it should have been. Feels like it should have been like 98, 99 for sure.
Well, that's the definitive list of Mount Rushmore for Christmas movies. Mine is still the best list. I beat Joan. I
Call
beat
in if you
Mason,
have a
and
better
I
list.
beat
I didn't share a list, but
Kennedy.
that's
No,
I beat
call
all of
in
them.
if you have a better list. Please call in. Please.
615-737-9986. We'll get to a couple of your phone calls next. And then at 9:35, my friend Danielle Chaffin is in studio. We're going to talk about illegal alien trucking. All I want for Christmas is the illegal aliens off the road. 922 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And if you're thinking about replacing your HVAC system, or if you know you need to replace your HVAC system, now is one of those moments where it's actually going to make a lot of sense for you to act, because there are real savings on the table that won't be there for long. The federal 25C tax credit can put up to $2,000 back in your pocket on a new central AC and furnace, or up to $3,200 if you go with a high-efficiency heat pump. And those credits expire on December 31st. So you need to call Busy Bee today. On top of that, you can stack TVA Energy Right rebates worth hundreds more on select high-efficiency systems. And then Busy Bee's circling around back on all those savings with their own $1,000 off any new HVAC replacement, 15C or higher. So if you're keeping score at home, that's federal credits, that's TVA rebates, that's Busy Bee savings, all working together. You are the real winner this Christmas. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. Find them online, busybeehvac.com.
A Metro Nashville police officer has been decommissioned. We'll tell you why. Also, Brown University firing its police chief. Those stories and more at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. We have put young Kennedy to work. She's now running the board. Mason has his feet kicked up. Are you ready back there to hit all the buttons and do all the things correctly?
Yes, I'm very ready.
Perfect. Mason says that a lot, too. Mason says that a lot, too.
I never am.
Okay. We got Danielle Chaffin in studio. Really excited about the conversation that we're about to have. Danielle is a third-generation trucking and logistics expert. You've really learned and known the industry since you were a wee little lad, and you are now one of the loudest voices on social media exposing what's going on in the trucking industry. Welcome back to the show. Danielle, how are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing well.
Tell me your experience and your credentials real quick.
Yeah. So I grew up in the industry. My grandfather, my father, both truck drivers. Of course, my mom, if I don't give her credit, she will yell at me after.
She'll yell.
Funny story, actually. My mom, of course, helped my dad with his books and all of the back office things when he was running as an owner-operator. But then she worked for Averitt Express out of Cookeville for a very short stint of time. My grandmother, my dad's father, got some jackets made for my dad's own trucking company. And the story goes, my mom wore it into Averitt, and because of their non-compete and all of their rules, she got fired and walked out.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of my favorite stories.
So you have become a walking disruption. That's how you like to label yourself, a walking disruption in the trucking industry. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation. We got a lot to dive into. We titled the YouTube episode today, All I Want for Christmas is Illegal Aliens Off the Road. And we're going to talk to Danielle Chaffin about how just numerous these instances are, how crazy it is, and what we can do to fix the trucking industry. We'll dive into that after the news with Joan Jones, which starts right now on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. A Metro Nashville police officer is out of a job this morning. 38-year-old Chetan Babar has been decommissioned, facing DUI charges. Channel 4's Alexandria Adams.
We have learned that he hit the back of an Uber that was stopped at a red light at 9th Avenue and Broadway. Witnesses say that he left, but then he hit a building. Police saying that Barber got out and then ran off. Officers found him close to home, and they said that he smelled of alcohol.
Babar had to be treated at a hospital for the injuries he sustained in the second crash. A memorial for Brown University student Ella Cook in Alabama yesterday, one of the two shooting victims. Here's Reverend Paul Zoll.
We've come to honor Ella Cook, to thank God for her light and her life, and hopefully to make some consoling renewed contact with the love which animated her.
And meantime, a Brown University custodian telling the Boston Globe that he voiced his suspicions about the shooter to a campus security guard, said Claudio Neves Valente had been stalking the campus for weeks before the shooting. The school's police chief has just been put on leave. So guess who's running for Congress? George Conway, former husband of Kellyanne Conway, running for an open house seat in New York. He was once a Trump supporter. He now calls the president psycho, mentally unfit, a fascist, and more dangerous than ever. Conway was a founder of the now disgraced political action committee called the Lincoln Project. That is the latest news. We've got your weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. If you missed open enrollment for health insurance and you're already kicking yourself, man, I got to wait all the way until Q4 of 2026. You know That's not the reality. That's actually what the big health insurance companies want you to think. With Cover Nash, you can get covered today, right now, no waiting, no gimmicks. You missed open enrollment, no problem. Maybe you lost your job coverage, no problem. You're just sick of overpriced junk insurance. That is a problem, but it's a problem that Cover Nash can help you with. Cover Nash partners with over 75 top-rated insurance companies, including brand new nationwide PPO options with deductibles as low as $250, flat $50 doctor visits, ACA-compliant plans with free preventative care like physicals and colonoscopies. Not that you're excited about that, but plans for individuals, families, self-employed folks, even small businesses. Stop overpaying, stop waiting, stop thinking you're stuck. Go to covernash.com or pick up the phone and call Shane Ring right now. If I was a betting man, Shane Ring is sitting at his desk waiting for your call. 615-465-0023. Did I do that too fast? 615-465-0023, or find them online, covernash.com. I have changed my tune on FIFA. I'm excited. June 26th, there's a FIFA World Cup match in Seattle. This was designated as the Pride match. So it's going to be the gayest soccer game you've ever seen. And everybody was really excited about it. And it's in Seattle. So you can only imagine there's going to be like naked bicyclists and like a lot of penises. Way too many.
Yeah, more than none.
The teams that were selected to play in the super gay soccer game, Iran and Egypt.
No.
It's like this has to be a troll. Both of them have like in Iran, if you're gay, that's like jail for life, and I think that's them being like lenient.
Yeah.
And Egypt also has draconian anti-gay laws.
Yeah.
I've never been so excited for a soccer game.
Oh.
It's 9:37, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Merry Christmas to you and yours. The show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Last-minute Christmas gifts. What could be better than a water filter? Your family will love it. The frogs will love it. Everybody knows that, right? The frogs.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
BetterWater.com. I'm telling you, the frogs will thank you. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Have you heard of that? No. You haven't heard of that? Danielle Chaffin's in studio. She's a trucking expert. I happen to be well versed in frogs. It's a chemical.
We all have our own.
we all have our strengths. Let's talk about trucking, though. I'm really excited to have you in here. The last time we had you in, it was an awesome interview, a great conversation, and I've been excited to have you back. So, like, low-key, we've been trying to get Secretary Duffy on the show. This is one of the reasons why we want you guys to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. The bigger your digital footprint is, the more serious these people take you. That's just the way it goes. Haven't been able to get Secretary Duffy on, but we've been, like, waiting because as soon as I was going to get Secretary Duffy scheduled, I was going to railroad him with Danielle and get Danielle in here to, like, ask him the hard questions. Because every time I look at your Twitter account, I'm learning more about the trucking industry and how it's been taken over by just nefarious forces, outside influences, and illegal aliens, and it's completely frustrating and infuriating. It's infuriating. Talk to me about illegal aliens in trucking. What are non-domiciled CDLs, and what are you seeing with the non-domiciled CDL fraud in trucking?
Yeah. So, what's happening in trucking? This is something that wasn't in the public eye for a very long time. Truck drivers talked about it, complained about it, yelled about it so loudly that this was happening, but it was as if no one was listening to them. Everyone ignored them for years. Since really 2018 is when it started to ramp up, and then the flood of immigrants in the United States, a lot of them went into trucking. Everyone just stay quiet. Immigration is one of those like touchy topics that not everyone wants to get into. And so, A, no one listened to the truck drivers. B, no one wanted to talk about it. And so it gets to this point of where we really have an issue. And now people are talking about it. Thankfully, we have opened up that conversation, not just in the niche of trucking or in the transportation industry, but everywhere. I mean, we've made national news.
Yes.
And held the American people's attention for weeks on end. I don't know that that's ever happened in the history of trucking in America.
Well, I think a lot of people are just like, this affects me.
Yes, it does.
It literally affects everyone in the country. You have a lot of people right now traveling for Christmas.
Yep.
And I can't be the only one who gets on a highway now and is switching lanes when I get an 18-wheeler behind me.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said on the last show, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on or who you vote for. Trucking impacts you.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So they're coming in and they're getting non-domiciled CDLs, which means that you're getting a CDL license issued in a state that you don't live in.
Or have permanent residency.
So that used to be for a guy that was getting his license in California but lived in Tennessee.
Correct.
And now it's being used for a guy that's getting his license in California that is from Somalia.
Correct.
Or India.
Yep.
Or China.
That is correct. Yeah, it was a loophole in the non-domiciled CDL regulation or law that allowed foreign nationals to get those CDLs. And then when we relax the rules for truck drivers, the English language proficiency, the CDL school regulation, and what you had to do to be a CDL school to train truck drivers, when all of that was relaxed right before all of this immigration surge happened into the United States, it just snowballed into hundreds of thousands of immigrant truck drivers.
The last time that we had you on, you said that you thought the number was close to 300,000 illegal alien truck drivers on the road.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like that's the accurate number?
Absolutely. And that may even be like a very conservative low number.
Since our last conversation, we've seen enforcement ramp up. We've seen the English proficiency tests. We've seen a lot of states really cracking down on this because we've seen a lot more accidents too since you were last on. But just a couple days ago, you tweeted out 87 illegal alien truck drivers arrested in 2 California operations. 42 illegal alien truck drivers arrested operating on Highway 86 and Highway 111. 45 illegal alien truck drivers arrested in San Bernardino County operation targeting trucking companies.
Which I think that part, targeting the actual companies, is phenomenal.
Because that's the big deal, because these companies are fly-by-night. You highlighted one company where you brought up the email address, and it's linked to 200-plus trucking companies.
Yeah. There's another one that has 695.
So how does that happen where that goes under the radar, where they're just popping up CDL shops for illegal aliens?
Yeah. So the email addresses that are used to register the trucking companies, the legal explanation for this is that there will be someone that works as like an agent or a like accountant type person, and they will help someone get all of the documentation, all of the requirements to open the business. And so they will register it with their email address. So once they start getting the, hey, we still need this, or you're good to go, that person will get that information, which that's legal. But when you have 695 trucking companies that then go out and just do the same thing over and over again, dangerous, illegal operations, then it's a problem.
Well, and then they'll get shut down, and one will open right
Yes.
back up with the same email address, the same physical address, and a different name.
Yes.
And it seems like that's happening at a
It happens
breakneck pace.
all the time, every day.
So if you were in charge of the Department of Transportation, how would you get something like that under control?
I actually created this like mock app that was, if you go to register your trucking company, and actually this is a, what's the legal term? Something about perjury when you lie on a federal document.
Perjury, yeah.
So when you're registering a trucking company or updating information, there's a checkbox on this form that agrees that you're giving all of the information to the best of your knowledge, and if not, it's legal perjury, or illegal, I should say. All of these companies are checking that checkbox, knowing that they're not telling the truth, that they already have an existing company. And so that's one issue. The second, the app that I created. So you go through the form and you fill everything out, check the checkbox, and then it's like another verification. Are you sure you're telling the truth? And then if we run through the database and we see another trucking company at the same address or the same name, same email address, then it's like this big red box. It was like, we're not playing games anymore. You can't do this. We could do that at the FMCSA.
It seems like that would be very easily implementable.
It is elementary computing logic to match two data points and say, you already have or had a trucking authority. You don't need another one.
So I guess the question would lead me to, are they woefully ignorant on how easily that would be? Or are they just paying us lip service because they want to keep the illegal aliens trucking?
It's a great question. I think they know I honestly do not know if they understand the extent of this data in the company census file. It's over 2 million rows of trucking companies that have ever existed in the United States. I don't know if they realize the extent of the issue. Surely by now reading all my stuff, they do. I don't know. It makes me angry because I have to believe that they know.
And
There's no way you can't know that this mess is there and that it's happening.
How could you justify it if you were them, though? Is it like, okay, we'll do slow and steady, and it'll, that way it won't be... Because if they took all the illegal alien truckers off the road instantly, and we lost 300,000 drivers, that's a catastrophe.
Yeah, for a moment.
For a moment.
It would fix itself.
How quickly do you think it could fix itself?
I don't know, a month or so.
But do you think that they might be worried about the unintended consequences of doing that?
I think, no, they don't worry about the unintended consequence of anything else that they do.
It's fair.
So that one, it's not a great excuse.
When you see the arrests ramping up, though, does that feel like lip service to you?
No.
When they take 100 illegal aliens off the road?
No, but also that's not the DOT or the FMCSA. That's ICE, another government agency taking on the mess that we've created in the trucking industry and trying to help clean it up.
What is the FMCSA?
Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. It is a branch under the Department of Transportation.
What actions could they take today to fix these problems?
They could fix the database and prevent, two big things. One, fix the database to prevent these chameleon carriers from continually cycling through authorities. And two, that would be new authorities. With the existing ones, once they run up their safety scores, they could put an imminent hazard order and shut them down. But right now, that's pretty much on the insurance coverage or the insurance provider of the trucking company to say, we're not going to cover you anymore because you are awful.
Well, that's another aspect of it. How does an insurance company get away with insuring these truckers when they're fly-by-night operations?
It's a great question.
And why would they want to insure those truckers?
I don't understand the insurance setup process enough to know all of the details there. I do know that a lot of the trucking companies will give the insurance agents just enough information to get through. And so let's say you have 15 trucks, but you say you have 2. And so the insurance agency provider only covers 2 of those trucks while you have 15 running. So that's super illegal. And then in the larger rings of illegal operations, every single one that I found and looked into, there's an insurance agent in there somewhere.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So they have their own insurance people in-house.
Yeah. It's like an in-house, sure will insure you because we're
because we're going to look the other way.
Yeah.
Last time we had you in, you said Tennessee is top 5 in safety when it comes to trucking. Mm-hmm. Are you still confident with that?
Absolutely. We are still in the top, which I meant to run the numbers last night on the English language proficiency. And which is funny, the routes. I'll come back to that in just a second. But we're still in the top 5. Tennessee, Wyoming, Oklahoma, Arkansas. And there's one more, I think.
And while that feels good, it also doesn't really mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
Because just about every truck in the country is running through the state of Tennessee.
Which is interesting. They're avoiding and taking different routes to go around Tennessee and Oklahoma because they don't want to get caught.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's actually kind of comforting, to not going to lie. You know, if your route is landing in Tennessee, you're probably going to not take it if you're an illegal alien.
Yeah.
What are the worst offenders in the country right now for the non-domiciled CDLs for illegal aliens? What states?
New York is the worst right now. I think FMCSA and DOT came out with the audit results and they had 55%, I believe.
So more than half of their CDLs are going to illegal aliens in New York.
Yes. Which when I stumbled upon this gold mine of copies of CDLs, New York on their CDLs, they print the visa expiration date and of course the CDL expiration date. That's the only state that I found that prints the visa expiration on the CDL. So that's the only one without access to the private databases, which I don't have. That's the only one that I could confidently say these are issued illegally because the visa expiration is supposed to be the same date as the CDL. And we have them that are 2 years, 5 years, 8 years longer. And so they have a valid CDL, but their visa has expired.
That's insane.
Yeah. And there were so many of them from New York, I could only speculate that many other states were doing the exact same thing, but I couldn't say, I didn't know.
So New York is printing the visa expiration date on the licenses.
Yep. And so you can compare the dates, and it's supposed to be the same, legally.
But a lot of these dates, you'll see that the license lasts longer than the visa.
Yes. Anywhere from 2, 5, 7 years.
Which is a huge red flag.
Huge.
So New York is obviously trash. California, Illinois, I'd assume are up there as well.
They haven't given us the numbers for Illinois yet. We have California at 25% that were issued illegally. New York, 53%. Minnesota's at 33%.
Minnesota.
Yeah. And so the ones that I'm waiting on, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Utah, Washington, Texas.
Well, if there's anything I know about Minnesota, I doubt that they would be engaged in any type of fraud.
None at all. Perfect gold star state.
Yeah, it's a gold star state. We're in here with Danielle Chaffin. We're talking about the illegal alien trucking issue. She is a third-generation trucking and logistics expert. It's in her blood, and this is why she's so passionate about this. On the way, I want to deep dive on ELDs. What is an ELD?
So an ELD, electronic logging device, it is a piece of hardware that hooks into the truck that records the driver's time on the road and off the road.
So this is a huge safety risk
safety, economic security.
Because they're fudging the numbers.
Yes.
So they're saying, I deep dove on your Twitter last night, and a guy will just send a message to his company saying, "I need more coffee," and they'll say, "Log out, sir, and go get yourself some coffee." And when they log back in, they don't have to take that mandatory 8-10 hour break anymore. They don't have to take the reset.
Correct.
They just get the hours back.
Correct. And so that "I need coffee" message actually came from the investigation into the Terrell, Texas wreck, where Alexis, I forget his last name, Compia, something, it doesn't matter. Alexis was driving, hauling USPS freight, which is mail, and there was stopped or slow traffic on the interstate, and he fell asleep and did not stop. He ran into 5 or 6 vehicles, killed 5 people. There was a family in one of the vehicles. It was mom, dad, grandpa, brother, sister. Sister was 20 years old. The brother was younger. I don't know the ages on the others. It killed all of them but the 20-year-old sister.
Heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
Like, just devastating.
Absolutely. She was a volleyball player, and they had to amputate her foot, and then she was in ICU forever. That incident was heartbreaking. The "I need coffee" came from that incident because USPS requires, this goes into the ELDs, but USPS requires any load over 500 miles to have 2 drivers. And so you have team drivers or co-drivers. Alexis was the only one in that truck. And when he ran out of hours for his first shift, his legal shift, all he had to do was text in "I need coffee." And just like you said, they log out, log back in, brand new shift.
Let's dive into the electronic logging devices a little bit more in depth and talk about the just rampant fraud that's happening behind the scenes with those, because it's startling.
It is.
How insanely easy it is to manipulate that. So we'll dive into that a little bit more. We're with Danielle Chaffin. Any texts, any questions that you guys have for Danielle, text it in 615-737-9986. We'll get to all of your questions as well with Danielle Chaffin on the way. My name is Chris Hand, and I'm here to tell you about my friends at USS, United Structural Systems. You've been thinking about everybody else this year. How about you think about yourself and your home? Are you noticing some red flags, some warning signs when you walk around the house? Are your floors sagging, cracks showing up in the drywall? You got doors that won't shut right? These aren't minor blemishes or beauty things. These are something more nefarious. There's something pretty bad going on directly under your feet. This could be a foundation issue. You see, a solid foundation is going to be the backbone of a strong home. And when it weakens, it's only going to get worse with time. This isn't a problem that's going to fix itself. This is why you got to call the pros. You got to call United Structural Systems. They've been doing this work since 1994. In fact, they're so confident in the work that they do, when they leave behind a transferable warranty. That means that the warranty will stay with the home. It doesn't leave when you leave. Name another company that's doing that. These guys are unbelievable. They've been doing it for 30 plus years, 30,000 satisfied customers. And when it comes to your home, I'm telling you, don't kick the can down the road. Call the best. Call USS. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or find them online, USSTN.com.
registered a stronger than expected third quarter.
Analysts have gross domestic product rising at an annual rate of 4.3%, well above analysts' expectations of 3.2%. Consumer spending was behind much of the increase, along with government spending and exports of U.S. goods.
Jim Ryan, a wrong order at Nashville's chicken restaurant leads to a gun threat. Here is what police says happens.
A Nashville man faces charges after police say he pointed a gun at two Zaxby's drive-through workers over a botched order. Officers responded to the Charlotte Avenue location Friday after reports of the threat. According to an affidavit, 52-year-old Terrence Holmes was upset about his, quote, very specific order and allegedly told workers, quote, I'll shoot y'all because I'm not going through this today. Holmes was later arrested at his home and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Ken Weaver, WTN News.
A 17-year-old is in custody in Nashville this morning after a wild ride in Antioch. Channel's 4 Danielle Ledbetter.
Officers on the scene tell us the 17-year-old blew through a red light and nearly crashed into the police car. That cruiser ended up hitting a light pole. The teen then tried to run. Police say several passengers were inside the teen's car, but only one was hurt.
The officer in the police cruiser is okay. The 17-year-old was driving on a suspended license.
Democrats taking to the courts once again to challenge President Trump, this time over the renaming of the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C.
The lawsuit is filed by Ohio Democrat Joyce Beatty, who sits in one of the congressional seats on the Kennedy Center's board. She says she tried to object before the vote last week and was muted. Now she alleges the presidentially appointed trustees have violated laws that saw Congress naming the building and generally prohibiting additional memorials. Officials who run the facility have argued the board does have the power to rename the center. Now they'll have to make their case in court.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. For the first time ever, a drug maker has secured the approval of the FDA for a weight loss GLP drug in the form of a pill. So no more shots in the belly. Wegovy maker Novo Nordisk said that the pill version will become available in January for $149 a month. Cash-paying patients can get it for the same price through President Trump's new Trump RX. Eli Lilly is also expected to launch its own pill version soon as well. I'm Joan Jones along with Kennedy Hand. Weather is up next.
It's 10:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. We had a good news lady back there doing a heck of a job. Everybody hear that? Unbelievable. Joan Jones, I'd be careful. Going to get replaced.
Won't be long.
It won't be long now. We got a lot going on. Better Water LLC sponsors the show. We love those guys. We're live on iHeartRadio. Tune in the FM dial. Also on YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. Share the show with your friends. We're talking with Danielle Chaffin, who is in studio. Third-generation trucking and logistics expert. She's our go-to for all of the craziness when it comes to the trucking industry. And we've been talking about the non-domiciled CDLs, and we kind of moved the conversation down the road, no pun intended, to ELDs, electronic logging devices. You have been outspoken about how easy it is to manipulate the ELDs, but we get a lot of old school truckers, and they'll text in, and I get some texts and say, "Hey, we used to mess with the paper logs too, Danielle." You know what? So how is the ELDs different in how they're fudging the hours?
Yeah, so when I started posting about the ELDs and wrote an article, I got a lot of the same truck drivers saying that that's what they used to do with paper logs. My pushback on them is A, please stop saying that because it does nothing for exposing what's going on with the ELDs. And two, to manipulate the paper logs to make it look legal, you had to use your brain. The truck driver had to know exactly what he was doing to make it look legitimate. With the ELDs and having an app on your phone and text messages, just like the one we were just talking about in Texas, all he had to do was text, "I need coffee." That doesn't require a brain.
Can you put that up on the screen for me, Mason? So we have the screenshot of the text message if you're watching on YouTube. He texts at 4:54 p.m., says, "I'm going to need a coffee." And then he texts at 5:06 p.m., "I need a coffee." To which he gets a reply. It looks like this is on Telegram or Signal.
Telegram is what they use most of the time.
So he says, "You mean time? Question mark. Hours? Question mark." So it's like, bro, I'm trying to talk in code here.
Yeah.
Like you're messing up the entire scheme. When did this go down? This was the accident in Texas, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me about the accident in Texas. And did that set you off down the path for ELDs or were you kind of already hip to the game?
Because I work on the my full-time job is for a technology provider in the logistics space. So I'm on the tech side anyway. And once I caught wind, I started this before the Texas crash happened, which was nice because as soon as it happened and we realized what was going on with the ELD, then I could just release everything. The issue with the ELDs is it goes back to the FMCSA and the way that we set things up, and we never intended for bad things to happen or never planned for them. When an ELD provider wants to register or get certified with the FMCSA, it is a self-registration. And so they sign up, they say, "I've done all the right things, check a box." And if they've done the right things, then they're good to go. There was no verification process that this ELD provider did not create an app that could be manipulated.
So they're not checking the software. They're not checking the code.
Nothing.
That's the biggest issue.
Yes.
And the drivers or the companies are then resetting the driving hours illegally by sending messages like that. "I'm going to need some coffee."
Yeah. And what's even more interesting is that we have 10 to 15 really phenomenal ELD companies, huge companies. One's based here in Nashville called Motive, used to be Keep Trucking. There's another one, Samsara. There's several others. Really good. You can't edit those hours. Those are the ones that the legal trucking companies, the good trucking companies, they're using those. This may be exaggerated, but there's not a single legal good operating trucking company that's using one of the illegal ELDs. The illegal ELDs, there's really only a handful, maybe a few more providers of those, and they just sell you the software and the hardware. So then you can white label it, make it look like your own, put your colors in there, your logo, and then you register it as an app. They teach you how to do all of it. But then the data warehouse, or where all of the operations, where those "I need coffees" go back to, those are a handful, maybe a few more, overseas offices.
So, and this is what I got in my notes. So they're linked to countries like Serbia,
Yes,
and India, and Pakistan,
Yes.
and Russia.
Yes. So I have seen photos of the one in Serbia. Huge office, massive. And I don't know how many ELDs feed into there, but outside of the driver hours, these ELDs are tracking all of the routes, all of our infrastructure. They're tracking all of the commodities that are being hauled. So high value electronics, any other freight, food, whatever.
Is this happening with like dangerous freights like chemicals and gas and all that as well?
I would say yes, not as much,
Not the
because
extent.
the hazmat certification that you have to get with the CDL is much more of a like strenuous process.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I won't say that it doesn't happen, but certainly not as much as like food, electronics, household goods.
So you got these truckers that are working for these companies that are essentially based in Russia.
Yeah, or Serbia, or Pakistan, or Ukraine. Moldova's big too.
You had a guy, you posted a video of a guy and he was talking about working for the good Russians or the bad Russians.
Yeah.
I want to play that real quick and get your reaction to this video, because when I saw this on your page, I was like, what in the world?
I'm gonna give y'all some game, man. Put some game on your brain. For the over-the-road truck drivers, if you want to make some money, some good money, do some good research on this topic before you decide to do this. But if you want to make some good money, man, you can go get with one of these trucking companies in Chicago that's ran by them Russians. Go make you some money, but do it at your own risk. Reason why I say do it at your own risk, because they don't follow the rules and regulations as the other trucking companies. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So let me just paint the picture. This looks like an individual that's in a truck.
Mm-hmm.
He is trucking.
Yep.
And he's saying that you can go work for the Russians and make some good money.
But really, he's talking about the Serbians. They speak Russian. A lot of people just categorize all of them as Russians, but they're Moldovans, Serbians.
Well, because he kind of goes into it. He's like, there's good Russians and there's bad Russians. You got to know.
Mhm.
So are the bad Russians the Serbs?
I would say majority, yes.
And then those guys are resetting all the hours
Yes.
instantly.
Yes.
I need some coffee.
Yes.
10
And when we talk about the ELDs being a national security issue, which I've pressed for a long time, it's because all of the data is feeding overseas. All of our infrastructure, highway data, is feeding overseas. And then we have all of the load information, what they're hauling, how much it's worth. All of that is also feeding overseas. So they know exactly where that load is at all times. So if they want to divert it, unload it, throw it on a container, ship it overseas, steal it, they can, because they know where everything is.
Whoa, that's insane.
Yeah.
So it's far more insidious than just being like, okay, a truck driver is now doing 4,000 to 5,000 miles as opposed to 2,000 to
Yes.
2,500.
Yeah. And so we have the national security issue, which is the data. And then we have the economic, which is the replacement of the American truck driver. And so I wrote about it this morning and posted it, but it's like if you were capped at working 40 hours a week, you cannot work anymore and you're paid hourly. That's all you get.
Yeah.
Then a guy comes along and uses a different time card. His machine punches it a little bit differently. He's allowed to work 80 hours. You're doing the same job. You're getting the same base rate of that hourly pay, but he's working double. Then he's making double what you are and doing twice the work. But you're not allowed to do that because you're running legally and following the rules as you should be.
So it's screwing American truck drivers.
Yes.
And I would imagine that you have American truckers who are like, I'm not playing those games because, I have a
absolutely.
life and I have a family and I don't want to ruin my means of income. But you have an illegal alien who goes, screw it. I'm going to make as much as I can as quickly as I can
That's
while
exactly
I'm here.
right.
Because I'm sending it all out of the country anyway.
Yep. That's exactly right.
And then you get guys pretending to be running as teams
Yes.
with these ELDs as well.
Yes.
So you'll get, a guy will say he's got 2 truckers in the car.
Mhm.
He doesn't. It's
Mhm.
just him.
Mhm.
But he's manipulating the data so that way he's got double the amount of time that way.
Which is crazy because the whole ELDs were mandated in December of 2017. So everyone had to use them. There are a few exceptions of like local runs. I'm not going to get into that. December 2017, everyone's required to use these electronic logging devices. the push for them was to decrease the amount of wrecks based on the top cause of fatal crashes or injury crashes, and that was driver fatigue. That was the whole reason we mandated ELDs.
But then you look at what they're doing with the ELD, and it's like you have a fatal crash where a driver covered 1,856 miles, which would require a team, but he was using a manipulated ELD to hide it, and he kills 6 people.
Right. Yes. And this happens all the time. And prior to 2025, 2 things in the court cases with these fatal crashes. One is that I have yet to find a court case prior to 2025, late 2024, that even mentions the immigration status or citizenship status of the driver.
Very convenient.
Who's at fault. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then 2, I don't know that we realized the extent of the issues with the ELDs and what's happening. So it can be fixed.
It can be fixed, but it would almost have to be a uniformed app via the Department of Transportation.
Yeah. I mean, we have, like I said, there's 10, 12 really good ELDs. The Department of War, there's one that they will allow. And so there are some trucking companies that are approved to haul like the classified freight for Department of War, and they have to use this particular ELD.
So it almost makes you realize that they're completely aware of what's going on if they're saying, no, we only use this one because of the national security issues that you just highlighted. They don't want that data going overseas.
Correct.
So they're hip to the game, but they're not doing anything about it.
Correct. We do have, on December 1st, the FMCSA released a ton of new things. One of those is that they are, quote unquote, overhauling the ELD registration process. I don't know what they're going to do about the existing ones that are illegally being used.
You said DOT is doing this?
Yeah, DOT and FMCSA. And so that self-registration process, check the box that you did the right things, that is going to go away. They are going to look into it a little bit more. I don't know the extent of what they're going to look at them. I don't know if there's going to be someone reviewing the code, which at this point you could use AI and just dump it all in and say, give me like the loopholes, the red flags.
Yeah, they would be able to identify that relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Like seconds.
Yes.
So I guess the question would be, with everything that we see, who do you think is enabling this right now, currently? Like, who is to blame for this? Is it lobbying groups? Is it NGOs? Is it the DMVs? Where do you put the brunt of the blame and the accountability for the issue that we've seen transform the trucking industry over the last few years?
I think we had a perpetual push of the truck driver shortage, and that we needed more truck drivers.
We talked about this last time during our conversation, which in case you guys haven't heard our last conversation where we dove into all that, it's available on our YouTube page. Just search 99.7 WTN. But you said that was a complete fabrication.
Yes.
The shortage of truck drivers.
For the record, on the record, in 2025, we have officially debunked the truck driver shortage myth.
How did you debunk it?
We've trained Grok to understand that there is no truck driver shortage. But being able to look at the data, and also when you bring in the financials, the quotes, there's like Sonar from FreightWaves does a really great job at looking at all of this data, what the rates are, how many drivers there are versus how many loads, what the shipping volume looks like from different countries. It's really phenomenal data. Not my area of expertise. But when we look at all of that compared with the number of trucks actually on the roads, there is a huge, huge offset. Way too many trucks and drivers, not enough freight.
Interesting. So with the enforcement wins that you've been seeing, how optimistic are you today that 2026 is going to be the year that this gets cleaned up?
That's a great question. I think the ELD self-certification process ending will be huge. The FMCSA has revoked, I think 25 or 28 ELDs this year, which means that they say they're no longer approved and they have to use new ones. That's phenomenal. I don't know if we've ever revoked that many in a single year. ICE is honestly doing way more for trucking than anyone that's officially over trucking.
God bless them.
Yeah. Yeah. And to date, based on the published operations, we have 868 truck drivers that have been arrested, but that's only the state operations they've published, like the 1 and 2 day operations. I don't know about, they haven't published numbers for random inspections where someone gets pulled over and they're like, you're not supposed to be here.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts for our listeners, any lawmakers that or policymakers that may be listening. What would you tell them if you had them in a room?
I would tell them that non-domiciled CDLs are not needed in the United States. Get rid of them. We don't need them. The work visa pause to get CDLs, that should continue. If the work visa pause continues, then non-domicileds aren't even needed because we don't need non-domiciled CDLs. There's no reason for them at this point.
Would that solve the majority of the issues if they got rid of the non-domiciled CDLs?
Yes, and as long as states follow the rules, California, and don't issue regular CDLs to non-citizens, then we would be okay.
Danielle Chaffin, she's our trucking and logistics expert. We're going to have you in again because I feel like this conversation has a lot more legs to it. Where can we keep up with you and your reporting in the meantime, because you are a valuable source in this fight?
Thank you. My website, which has links to everything else I do in social media, is daniellechaffin.com. And then on X, I am maybe Danielle with 3 E's at the end.
Maybe Danielle, 3 E's, and then danielchaffin.com, CHAFFIN, danielchaffin.com. Danielle, thank you so much for coming in. Once again, we really appreciate you. I love having you in this fight, and I'm grateful for you. Have the best Christmas with you and your family.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, and Merry Christmas to all the truck drivers on the road this week.
The truck drivers aren't going to take Christmas off. They're going to still be rolling, right?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, well, Merry Christmas to the truckers. We love you guys. Stay safe out there. 1024, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Better Water LLC. If you're tired of weird smell, stains, or just plain old bad taste in water at your house or at the office, these are the guys you need to call. They'll install basically, I guess you could call it a giant Brita filter for your entire house. Or you could scale it down to fit right under your sink, or you could get one for your whole business, and they handle everything. You could have some nasty stuff in your water. Sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, even E. coli. Yuck. Better Water will test your water for free. They'll give you that peace of mind, let you know if it's in there or if it's not. If it's not, lucky you. If it is, there's a range of options that Better Water can help you with. From reverse osmosis to specialized filters, UV lights, you name it, Better Water has you covered. And you've probably already tasted these guys' work. They're a local company. They're treating the water around Smyrna at the coffee shops and at the hospitals, and they serve all of Middle Tennessee. So if you need to clean up your water, if you want to know if your water needs to be cleaned up, call my friends at Better Water today. 615-355-6063. That's 615-355-6063. Or you can find them online, betterwater.com.
Maryland man gets another reprieve, this time so he can spend the holidays at home. And something out of a horror story, what witnesses say about a swimmer who went missing off the coast of California. That and more at 10:30 here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joe Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We're having a fun show today. Danielle Chaffin was just in. She's awesome. Very, very nice lady, trucking expert. Maybe Danielle on X with 3 E's after Danielle. Kennedy Hand is back in studio. You did some time in the newsroom.
Yes, sir.
How'd that go?
It was fun. Fun.
How did you think it went?
It went good. I was kind of stumbling a little bit, but that's okay.
I thought you did great. Don't be so hard on yourself. What you should have done, you should have said, needed a little bit more instruction from Joan. And
Well, actually, it was like 30 seconds notice, and it was like, okay, well, you're about to go on the air, and I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, go ahead and just read this. And I was like, because I had practiced the teaser, and then Mason said we weren't doing the teaser, and then I was like, what?
So it was really a combo of Mason and Joan, is what you're telling me.
Hold on.
I thought you did great. Even with Mason and Joan holding you back. You've recovered from Santa Claus 3 being on your Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies.
I don't need to recover. That's my that's what I think.
That's what you think. All right.
That's a hot take.
It is. It's quite the hot take. We got a lot more on the way. I want to talk about the top Christmas toys of the year.
Right.
We'll talk about that with you when we get back. Right now, though, 10:30 on Super Talk. Time for the headlines with Joan Jones.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Another strike on a so-called narco boat. U.S. Southern Command saying late last night intelligence found a low-profile vessel traveling along a known narco trafficking route in the Eastern Pacific. One person was killed in the strike, but it brings to the death toll at least to 105 from strikes on these drug smuggling boats. The same judge that ordered the government to release Kilmar Abrego Garcia last weekend has just given him a free pass to be home for the holidays. Judge Paula Zinnes issuing an order yesterday prevents the government from re-detaining the Maryland man through the Christmas holiday. His attorney, Simon Sandoval Motionberg.
To me, at least, it's clear that the government is willing to do whatever it takes, sort of give any legal justification, any factual justification whatsoever to put this man back into a detention center.
Yeah, the Maryland man has another hearing scheduled for Friday. Off the coast of California, search suspended now for a missing swimmer who may have been attacked by a shark. The woman was reported missing Sunday. ABC's Melissa Aiden said witnesses talked to police about what they saw.
The U.S. Coast Guard telling ABC News at least one witness reported seeing a shark with a person in its mouth before it went back underwater. But they are still investigating.
Search crews and boats and helicopters did spend 15 hours trying to find the woman before suspending that search. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Glock Store. Are you still scrambling, trying to figure out what to get that special 2A guy or gal in your life? Well, it's never too early to start thinking about it. It's never too late to wrap it up. I mean, we're getting down to the wire here, and you need to talk to my friends over at the Glock Store or visit the website, glockstore.com. I mentioned both the store and the website for a reason. There's a huge Glock Store Christmas sale going on right now, and they have incredible discounts on everything that they sell. In fact, there's so much on sale. Here's the best way to get all the best deals. I got a little cheat sheet for you, okay? You go to glockstore.com. You check out all the incredible deals, optics, barrels, compensators, magazines, extensions, extended controls, slide cuts, and incredible deals on factory rebuilt Glocks. I mean, if you can't tell the difference, why pay the difference? Once you've filled your cart with all the things that you want, you check out and you choose pickup in store as the shipping option. And then as soon as your order is ready, they're going to give you a call, and you're going to know it's time to go and get it. It couldn't be any easier to get the best deals of the year on the best gear in the country. That's the huge Christmas sale going on right now at GlockStore.com and the Glock Store retail showroom, which is always minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
WTN. 10:36 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. It's our yearly Christmas extravaganza that we do on the show, where we have a very special guest in studio. My lovely daughter, Kennedy Hand, is here. What's up, Kennedy?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
Not much. Did you learn a lot from our interview with Danielle Chaffin?
Yes, sir.
About illegal aliens and trucking?
Yes, I learned more about making American flags with pins. But yeah.
What? So you weren't paying attention at all? Is that what was happening?
She may have spent some time making images over here with the push pins. She's very proud of her work, and I think it does look good. But
I made an American flag.
Hopefully the audience was more entertained with the illegal alien trucking combo than
I was
Kennedy.
definitely entertained with it.
All right. So this we did Kennedy's Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies.
Yeah,
and
it was the best.
We fully, everybody in the audience understands that she's young and she's going to make mistakes.
She'll learn.
You know, and we're not going to hold that against her. But I tasked her with another thing. When she said, "Dad, can I come in for the yearly Christmas extravaganza?" I said, "Yes, but we got to do content. So we're not just going to phone it in." Okay? So we needed the Mount Rushmore Christmas movies. And then I said, compile a list. I said, "Kennedy, compile a list." She said, "Dad, what does compile mean?" And I said, no, she didn't say that. I said, Kennedy, compile a list of all the popular Christmas toys this year, okay? And then I'll tell you a toy from the 90s that was better. And that's what we're going to do in this segment. Do you have this year's most popular Christmas toys in front of you?
Yes, and they are like very sad.
Were you impressed with the Christmas toys this year? I feel like Christmas toys have really fallen off.
They're bad.
They're bad
They're
toys,
bad
aren't they?
toys.
They're not good. There's going to be a lot of disappointed kids.
Yeah.
Just letting everybody know. Some of these toys on this list, I feel like Dan Aykroyd's Bag of Glass would be better.
Yeah, it's a letdown.
It's a letdown. Johnny Switchblade would have been a better choice. All right, so coming in at number 10 on the most popular Christmas toys in 2025. What do you have for number 10?
Dora the Explorer dollhouse.
I feel like Dora the Explorer doesn't need a home. She needs an adventure set. Right?
That would be good.
Like, she doesn't need a dollhouse. She needs a jungle.
It's like a jungle dollhouse, though.
Okay.
It's pushing there. It's
All right.
close.
A toy from the 90s that was better. Dude, you probably remember this. Max Mini. Do you remember Max Minis? It was like the Polly Pocket for boys. And it would come with like lava and all sorts of stuff.
Real lava?
Not real lava. No. No. Much better. Trust me. Far better than Dora the Explorer's house. Number 9 on the most popular toys.
Just play Hokey Pokey Elmo.
Hokey Pokey Elmo. We had a thing called Tickle Me Elmo back in the 90s, and it was far better than any Hokey Pokey Elmo. Have you heard about Tickle Me Elmo? Do you know about that?
No, but you when I told you this list, you went, Tickle Me Elmo, Tickle Me Elmo.
People went insane over Tickle Me Elmo. Like, there were moms fighting in malls over the Tickle Me Elmo.
Tickle Me Elmo was a little chaotic.
Like, grandmothers were throwing elbows. Kennedy, you don't understand.
It's like Turbo Man.
It was literally like Turbo Man, except with an Elmo doll, and far more dangerous because the grannies had mace.
Yeah, they had mace and their walkers hurt against your ankles. Slamming them.
So, yeah, Tickle Me Elmo was better. I'm just going to let you know. You guys don't even know how hard it was for Nana and Grampy to do Christmas right. Do you understand? They couldn't just order something off Amazon and have it delivered to their home. They had to go to a store. Are you familiar with those?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
What's
not
a
really.
store?
What's a store?
So they had to go to a place that sold toys exclusively.
What?
And then they would have to hope that the toy would be there. And you couldn't like check online that the toy would be there. You'd have to look up the phone number to the store in a phone book.
What world did we live in?
It was backwards. It was a simpler time. But you would have to call them and you would say, "Do you have this toy?" And they'd say, "We have 3 left." And then you would have to hope that those 3 wouldn't be sold by the time you got there. Number 8 on your most popular Christmas toys for this year.
Hello Kitty Color Pop.
Nah, no, not a fan. Not a fan. We had Japanese toys growing up as well. We called them Pokemon. Pokemon cards were in. I can get behind. I'm not anti-Japanese toy.
No, but just choose the right one.
Choose the right one. There are winners and losers in the Japanese toy realm.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Pikachu stands on high.
He's atop the mountain.
Yeah,
never been toppled.
He rules.
Which brings me to another toy from the 90s that was just unbelievable. Game Boy Color.
Oh,
That was. We have one.
We have one.
so good.
Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red,
I was a
Pokemon
red
Yellow.
guy.
We had a kid get Pokemon Yellow. You remember that?
Yeah.
The Pokemon Yellow kids used to always rub your nose in it that they had the Pokemon Yellow.
It's like, ha.
We
look
had
what I got.
Pokemon Violet
We have
or Silver.
no, we have Blue.
Blue?
Well, on the Game Boy Color, we have Pokemon
Oh yeah, on the
Blue.
Game Boy.
Red superior.
Red was superior. You'd get yourself a Charmander.
Mm-hmm.
You'd evolve that bad boy into Charizard. Eric said somebody died over Tickle Me Elmo.
I believe
What?
it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And then I was wrong. It wasn't Max Mini. It was Mighty Max, the little Polly Pocket for dudes. It was very based. I had quite a few.
That doesn't surprise me.
Number 7 on the most popular Christmas toys of 2025.
I forgot to write down the name. It's those fur.
You had one job.
I know, it's the Fur Real Panda.
A Fur Real Panda?
Yes. So it's like one of those pandas that you feed, and then it moves, and then it sings.
Okay, a toy from the 90s that was better than that. Do you know what it was? I think you know what this one is because every time we go to your grandparents' house in Charlottesville, they try to unload a few of them on you.
Oh yeah.
Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies were better than the Fur Real Life Pandas.
So good.
Beanie Babies. People used to think that was going to be their retirement fund. Do you understand that? Do you ever wonder why there's 300 Beanie Babies sitting in your grandmother's upstairs? It's because people thought that they were going to be able to retire on these things.
Actually, 3 of the ones that Mom has, they're worth $300 each.
Tell you what, as soon as you find somebody to pay you $300 each for those Beanie Babies,
They sell on eBay for $300
sell them.
each.
I'm telling you, sell them. You can keep all the money. Nobody's paying that.
Okay.
Nobody's going to do it. Listen, I'm just here to bring you a little reality, kid. Nobody's buying a $300 Beanie Baby. Mason, you ever bought a $300 Beanie Baby?
I would never.
You would never.
But
What if an old grandma did?
I know the collectors who look for pristine ones that will absolutely pay $300 for a Beanie Baby.
Thank you, Mason.
Unfortunately, I didn't say it was smart. I didn't say it was a good choice. Poor planning on their money, but people would do it.
Number 6 on the most popular Christmas toys for 2025.
Labubu's.
Labubu's. We've talked about the Labubu. Labubu was demonic.
Of the devil.
Yeah, they were made in a demonic Chinese factory, and they have bugs and cameras imported in them.
That's what people say on the internet.
Raising your daughter, right?
Can you tell that she's my kid? Can
Yeah.
everybody tell that this is my kid?
We were at a party, and this girl was like, "Oh, I have a Labubu," and she sat up and stared at me in the middle of the night. And I was like,
Creepy.
"Oh."
Yeah, we don't need the toys from what country? What country are they from? That's right, China.
China?
Yeah, we don't need that. Demonic.
Sorry, I had to find the right one.
All right. A better toy from the 90s than a Labubu.
Not from
China?
well,
it actually might be from
China?
Is it made in a Chinese demonic factory?
China.
I don't know, but it might have been made with little teeny tiny Chinese hands.
Teeny tiny.
Todd 2, Ice-T. He texted and he said Teddy Ruxpin. Teddy Ruxpin is better than a Labubu.
I don't know what that is.
So it was like it would read you stories, but you had to put a cassette in its back.
What's a cassette?
Number 5 on the list of the most popular toys of 2025. What do you got?
Care Bears Wicked 2-pack.
Not a fan. No. I don't need my Care Bears sporting Wicked. Have you noticed that the Care Bears are doing all of these partnerships with all of these things that they say aren't being marketed towards kids? Like I saw, so Stranger Things is a Netflix show, and they do a bunch of weird stuff, and they're like, we're not marketing to kids. And I was walking down the Walmart aisle the other day, and I saw a Care Bears Stranger Things collaboration. I'm like, I thought you guys said you weren't marketing this towards kids.
Wait a second.
That's weird. Isn't that weird? So it's Wicked?
It's wicked.
It's wicked.
They're wicked.
Tell you what's better than a wicked Care Bear.
It's a wicked Care Bear.
A wicked Care Bear. Any Transformer.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Absolutely. I would take a Decepticon before I took
list.
a wicked Care Bear. I'll tell you that much.
Easy.
Tell you that much
Easy.
right now. People are saying I've failed as a parent because you don't know what a cassette tape is.
It's a cassette tape.
That is something I think that needs to be touched on. Not that you failed, but
okay, so we have a record
I know
player.
what it is. Yep, those little things, and they're like the square, and then you like put it into like the player thing, and
That's
then
a
they
rectangle.
play music.
Yes.
Perfect. We have a Lego one
how do you rewind it?
Yeah.
with like a.
No, you used to have to put a pencil in it and spin it when the tape came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd get blank ones. Okay. This is what I used to do. You know, you make a playlist on Amazon or something. So to make a playlist back in the day, I would have to take the cassette and I would get a blank cassette tape and I would put it in, and then I would wait for the radio station to play the song I wanted. And I would pray that the DJ wouldn't talk over the intro of the song because it would ruin it. And then you'd have to hit record. Your timing would have to be impeccable. Boom, you'd have to slap record. And then you would record the whole song and you'd stop. And then that's how you would make a mixtape. A lot of time and dedication.
A lot of effort. It meant something back in the day when you make a playlist for somebody.
It really did. It really did. There used to.
You knew.
If you made a playlist for somebody for Christmas in 2025, that is not a thoughtful gift.
No.
It's too easy. I don't even know how you would get it to them.
Hey, I searched these artists and I sent you a Spotify list.
Yeah.
just listen to it.
If you made a playlist, a mixtape in the 90s and the 80s, there was time and dedication and hard work spent making that playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Kids don't understand. What number are we at? Number 4?
Number 4. This one's not as much as a letdown because we have one of these. It's the Hexbot's Gecko Glow in the Dark.
That's actually pretty good. It's a remote control lizard that has a little vacuum built into it, and so it can climb on the walls.
Oh, okay. I thought you were teaching your kids how to clean.
No.
Danny Tanner.
We used to we got Kennedy a vacuum one year for Christmas. One of the kids vacuums.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it actually worked. It was awesome.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
He vacuumed up a bunch of stuff. No, it actually vacuumed. Number 3 on the most popular toys for 2025.
Interactive Stitch.
Interactive Stitch. What is an interactive stitch?
So it's like a little stitch, and it apparently interacts with you.
Ah, well, that's all I needed.
What's Stitch?
Stitch is the movie.
Like Lilo and Stitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
The blue.
Is this an AI-powered toy?
That's what I'm wondering.
I don't like it.
Battery's not included.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Got to buy your own poison pill.
I'm going back to Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, it's just a solid.
Way better. All right, number 3 on the most popular toys for Christmas in 2025.
Number 2.
Number 2. Sorry, jeez.
Bluey Hide and Seek.
Bluey Hide and Seek. I see an eye roll coming. Do you have an issue with Bluey?
Do I have an issue with Bluey?
What is your issue with Bluey?
It's just Bluey's supposed to be a girl. They make her the color of, and then this is from like a Christian point of view. They make her the color of the dad, but then they make Bingo the color of the mom.
So they're gender swapping?
Yeah. Big time.
Big time. A lot of people like Bluey.
No, but they do it with like all the creatures. They give boy names to girls and they give girl names to boys.
Are you telling me that Bluey is woke trash?
Yes. Like one of the guys is named Megan.
One of the guys is named Megan?
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan.
And Bluey and him date.
Not a fan.
No, it's not good.
No, keep those kind of relationships on the West Coast. Sorry. Are we up to number 1?
Number 1.
The most popular Christmas toy of 2025.
Furby Rainbow DJ.
Furby Rainbow DJ.
It's like a really long Furby, and then it plays music.
As a parent, I don't approve of those toys because it sounds like a migraine waiting to happen.
That's fair, especially if it doesn't take a bunch of battery power, just go on forever.
We had one of these like little Hatchimal things, and it would sing songs, and Millie loved it, or Millie like just got into it, and it just walks around.
It's so creepy. So we never got the Furby in my house, but my cousin Matt had a Furby.
Mm-hmm.
They bent the knee. They got the Furby. And I remember sleeping over at my cousin's house.
Mm-hmm.
And that Furby would be in the closet. Nobody would be prompting it. Nobody's looking for it. And then it would just start talking.
Furbies are possessed.
It was really creepy. It was the first demonically possessed toy that I can recall as a child.
Yeah, this predates Labubu by far and is much worse. I would rather be in the room with a Labubu than a Furby.
I know somebody and her grandma, if she's being bad, her grandma puts her in a closet with all these porcelain dolls that
geez.
glow up
Whoa.
and makes her hold them.
That's abuse.
That's terrifying.
That's very terrifying. Well, that does it for. Let's end it there. Let's end it on a terrifying note. That does it. That's the top 25, the top 10 Christmas gifts for 2025. Are any of those Christmas gifts on your list, Kennedy?
No.
Okay.
No.
Huge win. 1053 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Massive trove of Epstein files released today. We've got that and more coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$10:58, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Joined in studio by Josh Tifo, Senior Director for Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action. Welcome back to the show, Josh. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Tifo Tuesday, one of my favorite hours of the week.
Man, we're happy to have you here. AmFest seemed like a huge success. What a weekend you guys had. What's your initial reaction and thoughts getting back into regular life after? Because those weekends are a whirlwind, right?
So my initial reaction is we have finally hit that moment where conservative culture is melding into mainstream culture. I mean, we had Nicki Minaj out there as the surprise guest, and she's talking about persecuted Christians in Nigeria. Like, what type of world are we living in where a lot of the pastors in our nation are too scared to talk about the persecution situation in Nigeria, and we have a multi-platinum rapper out there talking about it? And it goes to show that God gets done what he wants to get done, and when the people who are supposed to serve him don't do it and don't have that courage, I mean, he'll get the job done, and you never know how he's going to get it done.
I loved watching the reaction of Nicki Minaj on stage at AmFest when the liberals are saying, what's the difference between this and Megan Thee Stallion at a Kamala Harris rally? And I said, well, at the Kamala Harris rally, Megan Thee Stallion was there to twerk, and at AmFest, Nicki Minaj was there to talk about Christianity. It's a huge difference.
Big time difference. You just have to listen to what they're actually saying. But I'm thrilled, especially with a few of the speeches. I absolutely loved Erica Kirk's opening remarks. She did a beautiful job. I loved Byron Donalds. I loved Benny Johnson. I loved the speakers who had the courage to bring their message, knowing that the truth wins out when it's shared. And if that's really what you believe, you don't have to take shots at people you don't like. You can just share what you believe, knowing that when all of the viewpoints are out there in the open, then the discerning activists of Turning Point USA, they will subscribe to the ideologies that work, that are actually backed by evidence, which is why we shouldn't be ashamed of just speaking the truth instead of making it all about the people we don't like.
Amen. Josh Tifo's in here. We got a lot to talk about. A Tennessee organization took a swing at Turning Point USA today, which I found rather surprising. I'm not going to lie to you. It shocked me. I didn't see that coming, but we'll talk about it on the way. It's 11:01 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers, we've got a crash on the right shoulder, going to be 24 eastbound at Church Street, but it's slowing down about 3 miles before then. Right now, that's going to be an 8-minute delay, 24 eastbound there through Murfreesboro. And a full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Had a massive trove of Epstein files released today.
The overnight release contained more than 10 gigabytes of data. An FBI email sent the day after Epstein's 2019 arrest sought an update on the, quote, 10 co-conspirators. The Justice Department has since said there was no evidence to support charging anyone other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. The files also contain an email from a federal prosecutor who noted in 2020 that Donald Trump flew on Epstein's private plane in the 1990s, quote, many more times than previously has been reported or that we were aware. President Trump says he ended his friendship with Epstein after he stole employees from Mar-a-Lago.
Former President Bill Clinton's name and photos appearing in recent releases, prompting a response from the Clinton team, says Jay O'Brien.
Clinton's spokesperson is out with a statement issuing this challenge of the DOJ, accusing the DOJ of using what they refer to as, quote unquote, selective releases of Epstein documents to imply wrongdoing when there isn't, and they're challenging the department to release every single document that either has a photo of or mentions Bill Clinton, signaling that they have nothing to hide here, calling for more transparency.
Money news, the government's favorite gauge of the nation's economic health registered a stronger than expected third quarter. Here's Jim Ryan with the latest.
The initial figures from the Bureau of Economic Analysis have gross domestic product rising at an annual rate of 4.3%, well above analysts' expectations of 3.2%. Consumer spending was behind much of the increase, along with government spending and exports of U.S. goods.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Merry Christmas to you and yours. The show is brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Do you know what we want for Christmas? No gay frogs. Mason, that's what people are looking for Christmas.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
BetterWater.com. Fun fact, we have Josh Tifo in here, Senior Director for Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action. It was over the weekend at AmFest. Alex Clark gave a banger of a speech where she went in on the chemical atrazine, which is the chemical that turns the frogs gay that's in the water. And she associated it with the increase in micro penises.
That was a spicy speech. There were a lot of people who loved that, a lot of the people who were very mad about it. But I have to say I absolutely loved it. And it's funny how there have been all these conspiracy theories about pollutants in the air, pollutants in the water. We're finding out that a lot of them are actually true. And I'm actually going to paint a macro trend for you. So this is why the globalists and why the leftists want these chemicals in the air, want these chemicals in the water, because they lower testosterone. And if you can successfully lower testosterone in the male population, that makes men more docile. It makes them less likely to fight back. It creates this weird dystopian future where somebody stands up and gives a press conference and says everybody needs to wear a mask at the grocery store. And almost all the men are like, okay, I'll wear a mask at the grocery store. I'll never forget, I used to live downtown, down the street from here actually, maybe a few blocks. And we would go to the downtown Publix to pick up groceries. And just because I'm an American male, I wouldn't wear my mask. And oftentimes, I would be the only individual in the downtown Publix not wearing a mask. And I remember thinking, like, where are all the cowboys around here? Like, what on earth is wrong? And now we're beginning to see what happened. The left successfully lowered, in every age group, the testosterone levels of men. It's a significant problem. It's one of the things that's led to our significant rate in birth rate decline. And it makes the people very docile. Men are not standing up against government overreach.
Yeah, and we need to. I remember doing that at the grocery store, too, and I walked in one day not wearing a mask, and I saw a lady not wearing a mask, and I looked at her, I said, it's so nice to see somebody else smile. It's just like, it was underrated. You miss those little things. We do need more strong men. You guys are raising up a generation of them with Turning Point USA. Gen Z is locked in, and that's kind of the message I took from AmFest. One of my favorite things was the ability to allow differing viewpoints and then let the audience decide. Not run away from different ideas, but instead debate the ideas.
And I would argue that, so first off, you're 100% correct. And I would argue that when you make your, let's say you have 15, 20 minutes to make your pitch, not just to the American people, to the world. America Fest is one of the biggest political events in the world at this point. And you have 15, 20 minutes all year to make your pitch for what you believe the most important ideas are, which must be put out in global culture, American culture first. Why on earth would you use any of that time to attack people you don't like, which I'll phrase it a different way, give earned media to the people you don't like? May we not forget how Trump won the 2016 primary. He won the 2016 primary by creating a media situation where all the bad guys and all the opponents were talking about him. And another leading candidate would get interviewed, and like half the interview was, what's your take on how Trump said this? Trump said he's going to build a wall. Did you know Trump did this in business? Trump owned a pageant. And he successfully won with this avalanche of billions of dollars of earned media. So if you don't like another host, then don't give them a bunch of free earned media when we platform you in front of the entire world.
Exactly. And you're absolutely right. But my favorite thing was how you had all that dissent to the differing views, the different opinions, the calling out. But then it closed with a unifying speech from J.D. Vance, who says big tent politics isn't done in the Conservative Party. We're not doing the purity tests. If we align here and there, like, let's move forward with what we align on. And I thought JD did an unbelievable job.
And it was right over the target, because not only did he move the movement towards unity, he also did a spectacular job of taking his shots and saying things that were very controversial. He said that America is a Christian nation and will always be a Christian nation. That makes a lot of people really mad, makes a lot of moderate establishment types really mad.
He said, we won't apologize for being white. And I said, thank you, sir. It's about time. I mean, we have seen the white male be diversified out of the equation over the last couple of decades. And we have a generation of men who can't get into college because they don't hit the quota, or they can't get a job because, sorry, your application doesn't check the right boxes. There was a guy who had submitted an application to Coca-Cola, and he had all these qualifications, and he gets an email back, sorry, we're not looking for this job anymore. He goes, okay. He submit another resume with half of the qualifications, changed his name to Tyrone, and then said he was black. Instantly got a call back from Coca-Cola for the same job that he was more qualified for. Now, that's a one-off example, but we've seen that over and over and over again. And to get the main guy at your political party to go, we're not apologizing for this anymore. Like, this stuff has to stop. It's huge.
And here's what's wild to me. So the left had this grand Machiavellian plan to crush young white men by keeping them out of good colleges. And then after they successfully did that by perverting the admissions process and making so much of it race-based, then college became irrelevant for a number of these jobs. So that 18-year-old who didn't get into a good college despite having good grades then went on to start a business. And now at 24, he's like very rich compared to his peers, while his friends who did get into the elite colleges are making like $48,000 a year at a marketing job downtown, and they're in a studio with 3 other people in New York City. It's just
saddled with debt.
It's so ironic to me how the left tried to crush young men, and now there are so many young men in the muscular trades making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Some of my wealthiest young friends in the country own landscaping companies, HVAC companies, these businesses where people work with their hands, because if they're very smart and qualified and they got blocked out of college, then they didn't become dumb overnight. They used that intelligence to build businesses when they were 19 years old. And by the time they were 21, they had a couple crews. By the time they were 24, they've got 8 crews. And now they're 26 and they're telling me how they like vacation in the Caribbean with their family.
And I think it needs to be highlighted that they've also been there for a decade now, listening to the words of guys like Charlie Kirk and getting that inspiration, getting that motivation, and putting that to good use. It's been huge what Turning Point has been able to do for this country.
Well, I love how the posture of Turning Point and Charlie with his show build has been to fix problems in American culture, not just complain about them.
Yep.
You can make a lot of money and you can build a big audience asking questions, open-ended questions, complaining about how everything sucks and how we're a victim. Or you can come out and you can actually propose solutions. And this was how Turning Point worked. I mean, over the last 11 years I've been there, Charlie would recognize a problem in the movement, and he would launch some type of project or open some new division in Turning Point to fix that problem. And he just did that over and over and over and over again. And he would have absolutely loved the way that AmFest reached into mainstream culture. So a lot of people talk about this host said that and this host said this, and I got a lot of feedback from the grassroots that they did not like that. Feedback that, I'll summarize it, was basically like, all these super rich hosts are throwing mud at each other. Like, I want to know what the path forward is. That was essentially the vibe of the grassroots I got from a lot of those.
Yeah.
Which was interesting, since some of these people are my friends and I was surprised by their speeches. There were some good ones too. But I love the way it opened. Erica did an amazing job opening the event. And then the way it closed, Erica's interview of Nikki was fascinating.
Yep.
And then JD gave this powerful message of unity and essentially a vision for the future of our movement. And that was exactly what we needed. So the left's going to make a lot about the noise in the middle, but the way it started and the way it ended, it was very impressive.
I think the noise in the middle was necessary, because I think that we're going to need to go through some growing pains. It's going to need to be uncomfortable. It's going to need to be a little bit awkward before it smooths over and gets better. But I think that that's natural, and I think at the end of the day that could be a positive.
Well, the one thing that's important to center everyone's focus on is the sheer growth of our movement. It's easy to read some CNN story about so-and-so said this and then so-and-so said this. Here's the reality. We've gone from 1,200 to 3,000 chartered high school chapters in 3 months. Here's the reality. We did huge partnership events with Florida and Texas and Tennessee, and we're close to making announcements with 5 or 6 other states. I wouldn't be surprised if we have every conservative state doing something like this, some type of official partnership by early to late March. That's kind of my estimate. The team's working very hard on it, very proud of them. So the movement's in a very strong place, and the left wants to make it look like that's not the case. But let's talk about what Tennessee Stands did.
Well, this is the thing. You know, JD Vance gets up there and he says, we're not doing the purity test for conservatives. And I like Gary Humble. He's been a nice guy to me every time I've talked to him. But is this not a purity test for conservatives, what he's doing right now? I'm more conservative than you are.
This is not even a purity test. This is just pure political vengeance because he doesn't like that Turning Point Action endorsed someone he does not like. So if you asked me 4 hours ago, who's Gary Humble, I'll be like, he's a super passionate activist, like, friend of mine, seems like a great guy, don't know him super well. Well, that's forever changed because I saw what Tennessee Stands post about Turning Point. So I'm going to just quote it. Over the past week, Tennessee lawmakers have been working to partner with Turning Point USA to put a TPUSA chapter, another national influence, in every high school. Let's pause. I'll skip a little bit later. Consider this. Tennessee already struggles with outside money and centralized political influence. Now add TP's endorsement of Marsha Blackburn for governor and the picture sharpens. If TPUSA chapters are embedded in every high school, who exactly will these students and their families be mobilized to serve? And then later he says, as always, pray for the hearts and minds of the next generation. It's this attempt to be pious. Here's what's happening. So Tennessee Stands and whoever runs that place, they're taking shots at Turning Point and our students because they don't like that Turning Point Action endorsed a very conservative member of the Senate who's running for governor who happened to be a friend of Charlie and happens to be a friend of me. She has a 98% positive vote rating in the TPA scorecard, which makes her one of the most conservative U.S. senators in modern American history. So I'll tell you how I came to the point where I endorsed Marsha. There were a number of people in the grassroots asking me what was going on. There was one of the candidates who was opposing Marsha called and made the pitch for why she's bad, said she didn't really stand with Trump. She's not really that conservative. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me look into it. So I do some research. I do research for like 10 minutes. Number one, I dig into the first attack vector, which was she didn't really stand with Trump on January 6th. And I find out that weeks later, she was passionately defending Donald Trump in early February of 2021 in the impeachment hearing. So a lot of politicians I know, they didn't get back on the Trump train until, I don't know, late 2023, early to mid 2024. Marsha was defending him in February of 2021. So I'm like, okay, so that's a completely fake attack. And then I think, okay, maybe she didn't have the best votes. So I look her up on the Turning Point Action scorecard, 98% positive. 98% positive. 98% of the time, she stood with our oftentimes very strict definition of what is the grassroots conservative play for this vote. So you have one of the most conservative senators in modern American history who's running. Of course, Turning Point Action is going to endorse her. So, look, I get it. Gary's mad that Turning Point Action endorsed the best candidate for governor. So he's taking a shot at our Turning Point USA students who have a chance to put chapters on every high school and college in the state. This is probably the most heated you've ever seen me on air. Yep. There's a reason. Some of these things that he's saying and that he's floating, oh, is it okay for the state to be partnering with an outside group like this? Oh, national influence. It's the exact same attack I deal with in a leftist press conference. And it's coming from a conservative in my state. That's not a conservative. That's someone with a political vendetta. So I'm extremely, extremely disappointed in Tennessee Stands. It's not an organization that anyone should be working with anymore.
No, and first of all, Turning Point USA is 501c3. They're not going to be endorsing political candidates. They're just not. They're going to be talking about free market capitalism, small government, and that's what they're pushing. And Christianity, that's the goal. And let the kids figure it out for themselves after we establish the foundation. That's the goal. I had a very smart guy tell me, we were talking about the governor race, and people talk about Marsha, and I had a very smart guy tell me, would you rather be on the inside with Marsha and able to influence what happens? Because Marsha's going to win. Or would you rather rail against it and be on the outside and not be able to do anything positive? And it seems like Tennessee Stands is taking the stance of, we'll be on the outside kicking and screaming, as opposed to aligning with somebody that's going to win and trying to get some stuff across the finish line.
And let's be honest. So number one, kicking and screaming is great for media. It's great for getting views on your podcast. So I understand why some people want to do that. I don't know if that's their motivation or not. But this just became personal. When you come after TPUSA, you're not going after some national organization. You're not going after Erica. You're not going after me. You're going after the 16-year-old right now who has a table set up in their lunch hour, who's trying to talk to kids about Jesus, who's trying to talk to kids about the founding of the country, who's handing out pocket constitutions. That's who you're taking a shot at. You take a shot at our 16-year-olds, I'm done with you. I have no patience for that behavior.
Amen. Josh Tifo is in here a bit heated. heated, and I think with full right to be. We'll talk a little bit more about this on the way. It's 11:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, good.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friend Aaron Parker over at Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville, and I got to be honest with you, Santa can carry a lot. He's not going to be hauling a 1,200-pound safe down your chimney. This is where Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville comes in. Tennessee veteran-owned Christian family business protecting what matters since 2009. Their safes aren't toys. These are real heavy-duty gun safes, fire-rated, theft-resistant, built to secure your firearms the right way, but they'll also protect the other stuff too. The photo albums, the passports, the jewelry, the heirlooms, all of that. And these are the right guys for the job. You can actually see a breakdown on every safe that they have in stock on their YouTube channel, Parker Safes and Vaults on YouTube. And he does a detailed breakdown on all the safes. Also, they have a new product in, which is really cool, especially if you're in new home construction. A vault door, a Murphy door. It looks like a bookshelf, but it's really a door into a secret room in your home. So gangster, something that you need to think about if you're building a home right now. Aaron Parker knows safe. He knows security. He's a former Air Force security officer, park ranger. He's going to help you choose the right safe for your home and your budget. Aaron and his sons will deliver it. They'll install it themselves discreetly, professionally. And if you mention the Chris Hand Show during the month of December, you're going to get a free gift with your new safe, something every gun owner can use. So call my guy Aaron over at Parker Safes and Vault in Shelbyville, 931-842-6445. Again, that's 931-842-6445, or find him online, parkersafes.com.
All right, drivers, still got that crash on the right shoulder, 24 eastbound, backing things up in Murfreesboro. It's there at Church Street, but the slowdown starts at Old Ford Parkway, a couple of miles back. That's about a 5-minute delay. Justice Department released a huge trove of Epstein files just after midnight last night. We'll tell you about that coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
1126, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. In studio with my friend Josh Tifo. Tifo Tuesdays. You good? You good? Josh got a little heated. It got a little spicy in here.
A little into it. And in the commercial break, Tennessee Stans decided to tweet at my wife.
Just to rehash, Tennessee Stans took some shots at the Tennessee and Turning Point USA partnership. And Josh says, guys, you're going after kids. What are you doing?
And the worst part is the logic they use that, oh no, a national organization partnering with a state, so corrupt, is the same thing that I'm dealing with from leftists in press conferences. You're going to attack us like the left does, and you're not attacking us, you're attacking our kids. But you all heard that before the commercial break, a lot of you. So I'm going to read what he just tweeted at my wife in the commercial break. She said, well, guess we know where you stand now, Gary, disappointing. And now he's trying to walk it back because he might have just heard what we had our lovely conversation. He said, and where do you think that is, Brenna? Tennessee Stans doesn't stand with Marcia. That's been made clear. The purpose of the post isn't to have a debate on TPUSA. Oh, well, I just read the post. It was all about like how TPUSA partnering and having chapters everywhere is a bad thing because of corruption. The point is to draw attention to highlight what a corrupted government that desires nothing more than to maintain their power can do with a partnership, he puts it in parentheses, partnership with an organization with hundreds of millions of dollars behind it, networking all across the state and country, and it's concerning. This is some of the exact language that you see in leftist national write-ups of our partnerships. They're like, ooh, a big national organization in a state. They're putting chapters all over the place, influencing our kids. Yeah, you know what we're influencing your kids to do?
Save the country.
Follow Jesus, save the country, get married young, have babies. That's what Club America stands for. That's what Turning Point stands for. So if that's concerning to you, you're not a conservative. Hate to break it to you.
Insane.
It is. But anyways, let's move on. We've taken care of business. I've got to share a Bible verse that I've just been obsessed with lately. Let's have an encouraging time today. So I was raised as a Christian, became saved when I was a little kid, and I always just assumed what the lead-up events to Joshua 10, which is the famous chapter where we learn about the time when Israel's fighting a battle and God makes the sun stand still for 12 hours so that Israel can continue pursuing their enemies. And I just assumed that maybe God did it just to help them, or Joshua asked him the night before and said something like, well, dear God, we got a big battle. If you can do anything to help us, that'd be great. That wasn't his posture. So he was fighting the Amorites and winning, leading the nation, chasing them down, running them down.
Yep.
And he stops as he's pursuing the nation in full view of all these people he's leading. And he doesn't even ask. He says, in the presence of the Lord, sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Aijalon. So the sun stood still and the moon stopped till the nation avenged itself on its enemies. And there's some subtext later that says, there has never been a day like it before or since, a day when the Lord listened to a human being. This is the posture we need to have as Christians and conservatives right now. We are pursuing evil. We are completely abolishing the trans movement state by state from the nation. The idea that you can cut the balls off of a 14-year-old is getting stamped out in American culture, and it's becoming something completely unacceptable again. We are reaching a point where it is becoming cool, it is becoming mainstream for a man and a woman to get married young and have lots of kids. The whole trad wife thing is on fire. Women want it. Men want it. 22-year-old men are walking up to me at the grocery store, and they're asking me, so I've heard about some of the stuff you've done. I know you have a wife and kids. Like, how did you get to this point? They want this life. Mm-hmm. They want the results of following God. And young America is, they're so hungry and so thirsty to live God's way. And some churches do it. Alan Jackson's church does it.
Yep.
A lot of churches are not giving them what they want. And that's what they went to Charlie for. That's why Charlie had billions and billions of video views per year, because that 22-year-old man, that 22-year-old woman went to Charlie to learn how to live God's way. We absolutely need to stand in that gap and be ready to educate a generation. What does it look like to stand for God? What does it look like to build a family? What does it look like to be civically engaged in our representative republic? And I look at where we are right now, and we should not have a spirit of fear. It makes me think of what Paul said. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and love and self-control. And I love the Greek word for self-control Paul uses in that passage. It's sophronismos. It's one of my favorite words in the entire Bible. Sophronismos essentially means ordered thinking in such a way that your thoughts are right, so your words and your actions have to be right because they flow from those thoughts. So that's why some translations will say sound mind, some translations will say self-control, sophronismos. I pray for me and for my family every day. When you have ordered thinking, then everything else flows from that. You're the husband you need to be. You're the wife you need to be. You're the parent you need to be. You're the businessman you need to be. And we are in that cultural moment where we know that we are doing God's work. We know that we are driving evil out of American culture. And we need to have that boldness to ask for crazy, wild things.
And that's why it's so important to get these TPUSA chapters in Tennessee. Because if you're not there, these kids are still going to want that info, and somebody's going to fill that vacuum.
And we're watching that happen with a lot of bad actors right now. I'm not going to mention them, not going to give them any earned media. I remember what we were talking about half an hour ago. But I'll take it back to the Tennessee Turning Point Partnership event, which Tennessee stands love so much. Near the end of my speech, when I started talking about Jesus, especially when I started sharing Romans 10:9, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your hearts that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. I watched about 3/4 of the students, which was most of the room, I watched their eyes light up. It was a moment I'll never forget for the rest of my life. They liked what we were saying. They liked the politics. They liked hearing about Charlie. They liked hearing about Erica. And then when I started talking about Jesus, about 3/4 of the students, their eyes lit up like it was Christmas morning. And it hit me. And this feeling will never leave. It hit me that young America is so hungry for the gospel of Jesus Christ right now. They have stared evil in the face. They've been told, shut up and sit down and wear a mask. You can't go to prom. They've been told, you might not be a boy, you might not be a girl, and the reason why you're depressed and anxious is because of the patriarchy. They have looked evil right in the face, and they're rejecting it. They're pushing off from that, and they are leaving mainstream secular ideology. And if the church is not ready to show them who the way, the truth, and the life really is, especially for young men, you are going to see something even worse. Strong, young, masculine men who are doing it for hedonism, power, and wealth, not for God, not for women, not for children. And that is what will happen if we do not reach the young men of our culture with the truth now as they are leaving secular humanism. They know there's not 67 genders, and they're going to follow Andrew Tate or they're going to follow Jesus. And we will be held responsible by God for what we do with this cultural moment.
Amen. 11:33, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
You're a beast. This has been fun.
You're a beast.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. The Justice Department released a huge tranche of Epstein files just after midnight last night. The overnight release containing more than 10 gigabytes of data. Meanwhile, survivors also speaking out, including Miranda Lacerda, known only as minor victim number 1 in court documents until she spoke out about her experience.
The only way that justice will be served is to bring these men to light and have everyone see who they are and what they have done to us, and to other women too who have not spoken yet.
An FBI email sent the day after Epstein's 2019 arrest sought an update on the, quote, 10 co-conspirators. The Justice Department has since said there was no evidence to support charging anyone other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. The Department of Education says it's investigating Brown University over an alleged security failure following the mass shooting on campus. The department says the university's security and surveillance systems may not have been meeting appropriate standards. And the FDA has approved a once-daily pill to treat obesity or overweight, combined with other conditions that can replace the weekly injections that some people are not comfortable with. Here's Sophie Flay.
Novo Nordisk, which also makes Ozempic, says those who took the Wegovy pill in the clinical trial lost an average of 16.6% of their body weight. Those results are similar to the injectable version. The clinical trial shows people who took the pill experienced similar side effects, one compared to the shot, mainly gastrointestinal issues.
That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Let's get you off to a pain-free life in 2026. No matter what you're dealing with, back, neck, sciatica, herniated or bulging discs, the Wellness Institute of Nashville can take great care of you. See, Dr. Mitchell and his team are the best. And they're actually the first and only office in Tennessee with a brand new device that's called the HydroWave. You're going to hear a lot about this in 2026. It's called the HydroWave. It stimulates stem cells for real cellular healing with no surgery, no needles, no injections. You pair that with a non-surgical spinal and knee decompression, and this is about as advanced as it gets. They'll use anti-gravity machines, robotic lasers, and they'll actually take the time to review your MRI and explain what's happening and how to fix it. A pain-free life is going to be yours in 2026. It is possible, but you got to make that phone call. 615-246-5009. That's the number for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. 615-246-5009. Don't waste another year in pain. Call the Wellness Institute of Nashville today or find them online, painisbad.com. It's 1140 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. My name's Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? You can listen to us anywhere, iHeart, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. Do it for me for Christmas. I appreciate it. Josh Tifo's in studio. What's up, Josh? Senior Director for Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action. Best Christmas gift you've ever received?
Ooh, best Christmas gift. When I was 11... my parents got me an iPod Touch, and I loved music, and I was fascinated with technology. I was a hardcore computer nerd as a kid. So I just thought it was so cool and fascinating that you could put all those songs on a little iPod Touch. So I loaded it up with worship music when I was 11. It was pretty big time. And yeah, I still remember that day. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Chris, what about you?
I got an 11-year-old back there in the producer's studio who just raised her eyebrows up. She said, 11, iPod Touch. Don't get any ideas.
Well, I got an iPod last year.
Well, yeah, she got, what was it? It wasn't an iPod. It was
Off-brand iPod.
Off-brand iPod. But yeah, we got her a little something for the streaming. My best Christmas gift, Game Boy Color, was pretty money. It was pretty sick.
The only thing better in that whole era, the Game Boy SP.
The Game Boy SP was
all
nice.
about it.
Were you an N64 kid? Or you
not really.
PlayStation?
When I was at friends' houses, I wasn't supposed to have it. Then I finally got my parents to break for a GameCube when I was like 11 or something. I don't know.
What do you see as we move past Christmas? What are your predictions for 2026? Where do you see the future of the conservative movement going? And what do you think is going to happen come midterms? I mean, historically, the party in power loses seats, but we've also never seen the Democrats at this low of an approval rating. I think it's in the history of the poll, it's the lowest they've ever been. Do we have an opportunity to win the midterms? What does that look like? What are your predictions for 26?
So here are my predictions. I believe that Turning Point and the grassroots movement at large has a tremendous mandate and opportunity to build. I've seen this rise since 9/10, which was a tremendous catalyst for a lot of this. It just woke up so many people and made them more serious about living a life on mission, living a life centered on the truth. And a lot of people who have been trying to get involved with Turning Point for literally 10 or 11 years have now gotten very involved in the past few months. So just that anecdotal evidence, if that's happening millions of times over, the grassroots has a chance to completely build to a point where we completely dominate mainstream culture, which would be tremendous. I predict that the revival will march on, especially with Young America, and it will go beyond Young America into the whole country if you see widespread activation of the church, especially large mainstream churches who usually aren't too controversial. If enough of them wake up, you're going to see this become a full-on American revival, not just a youth revival.
How do you wake up the churches? Like, if I'm just a guy who looks at my pastor and I have a good relationship with him, I have a great relationship with my pastor, and I'm like, man, I really wish you would speak out on X or Y. How do you go about those conversations? What would you recommend to somebody out there who doesn't want to leave their church, loves their pastor, but wants a little bit more, like, you know, guidance or somebody to be a little bit more vocal in the church? How do you do that?
So that individual needs to meet with the senior pastor, the number one guy at their church, who is casting vision for the future of the organization, and look him in the eye and say that you want him to boldly proclaim the gospel. You want him to take a stance on controversial things in culture. Tell him that that is what young Americans and a lot of potential Christians, people who are interested in all this, people who bought a Bible after 9/10 but have not surrendered their life to Jesus, that is what they're looking for. That is what they're starving for. They want somebody who can speak with moral authority to the issues that they wonder about every day, the issues that they talk about with their friends every day. If that happens with enough mainstream churches, then you will see a real full-on revival in the country beyond just Young America. Here's the problem. If you run an enormous mainstream church and you are very wishy-washy with controversial doctrine, you try not to talk about politics at all, essentially from a purely nonprofit organizational perspective, you're protecting your soft left donor base. People who love Jesus, love the worship music, but they think abortion's a good thing because they don't want all the poor people to like become criminals, whatever weird rationale pro-abortion people have who also claim faith. Or somebody who has a personal experience with somebody in the LGBT community, somebody who they want to follow Jesus, but also their son came out as gay, so now they think that's fine because they don't want to feel like they're bad parents because their son became gay. So you need pastors who don't care if those people leave. And here's what's so powerful and so valuable. If you are one of those pastors, then I'm speaking directly to you. You need to speak truth into the life of your soft left congregation. You shouldn't be afraid of them leaving and pulling their donations. We serve the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He will fund your ministry in a second if you are obeying him. We serve a God who listened to Joshua when he told the sun to stand still for 12 hours. I think he can fund your church. I think there's a good chance of that.
Is it just me, or I've noticed that the churches that are speaking out are getting more people in the doors. They're getting more people joining their church, and it seems like the ones who haven't taken a stance are fizzling out.
And that's 100% true, but what almost always happens is there's an immediate drop. So a pastor may lose a quarter of his congregation in a month and then double in size over the next year or two. You need to have the courage to trust God and do what's right and not care about size. And there are all kinds of excuses. The worst of these excuses, and Charlie ranted endlessly about this, is using the gospel of Jesus Christ as an excuse. Oh, we don't talk about trans issues. We don't talk about immigration. We just talk about the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we want to present a product that people who aren't with us politically will want so that they come and they hear about Jesus. Well, I'm telling you, people are not going to care what you say about Jesus if you don't have the courage to say we shouldn't be chopping the balls off of a 14-year-old. People are not going to care what you say about Jesus if you don't have the courage to say that we shouldn't be aborting babies just because we feel like it. And that lack of authenticity is felt by potential Christians.
Well, and I feel it when I hear leftist commentators go, well, Mary and Joseph, they were in a barn and they were refugees themselves. It's like, no, they were traveling for a census. But thanks for trying to use the word of God against me as a Christian.
Yeah, it's wild when I see leftists try to do that. And it's a holiday, so you know what I'm about to talk about. You're about to hang out with a lot of family members who don't know Jesus, who do not base their life on the truth. Have the courage, love them enough. Not just to have the courage, love them enough to have those real spiritual conversations, to ask how they're doing. And always remember, one of the most powerful tools God has given you is your testimony. You don't have to tell them how to live their life. Just openly talk about how God has changed yours, how God has changed your marriage, how God has changed your business, how God has changed your kids. And then be ready for them to attack you. And when they attack you, stay cool, stay calm, stay collected, and love them enough to tell them about Jesus. Because the reality is there's a heaven and there's a hell. And that relative who you love, who you bought a cool gift for and wrote a little card for, is going to spend eternity apart from God if they have not surrendered their life to Jesus Christ. And I know that we could get in all kinds of debates about soteriology, and people love to do that, especially here in Tennessee. God does what he wants to do, but he has given each of us, while we're here on this earth, a choice to receive his free gift of salvation or reject it. He doesn't force people into heaven. And you have a chance to bring that truth to people you love in a setting where you may not see them again. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that, they're never going to talk to me again. Let's say that they don't. Let's say that you share the gospel with them at Christmas Eve at your home, and they don't talk to you for 3 years and they get saved. You think that's a win? I think it is.
Yeah. Do you think it's harder to have a conversation about this with somebody who is a non-believer, or is it harder to reignite the fire for the eco-Christians in your family, the Easter and Christmas only guys?
I mean, it's more difficult with the second because, I'll just shoot straight with you, and this is going to make people mad. There are a lot of people in America who think they're going to heaven because they just believe in God. What did I say earlier? Romans 10:9. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord of your life, he is king, he is in charge, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. That does not mean that if you say some magic words at VBS when you're 7 and check a box that you have fire insurance forever. That lie is sending a lot of people to hell. If you have surrendered your life to Jesus, if you have made him Lord and you are his, then you're saved. And I hear a lot of people say we're all children of God. We're not all children of God. We're all made in his image, Imago Dei. That's an important principle to understand. But maybe not forget what Jesus called the religious leaders who fought him. He said, you are children of your father, the devil. That's a pretty aggressive thing to say. So yes, you're made in his image and God wants you to be his children, but you need to surrender to him. You need to give your life to him. You need to make him the captain of your life. And if you do that, then you're going to be in heaven with everyone you love who has ever done the same thing.
Josh Tifo, Senior Director for Turning Point USA. Closing thoughts as we close out the year. What has this year meant to Turning Point USA? What does next year mean?
It's a tough question, and it gets me emotional, which it's tough to do. I don't get emotional that often. It's hard to wrestle with why God allowed 9/11 to happen, and why God took one of my best friends, and why God took essentially the secondary leader of our movement. He was the secondary leader of the American conservative movement to Donald Trump, and he was the bridge between the Trump era and the Vance era. And now that's something that our movement must do without him. It has been the most difficult 3 months of my life, but to watch the way that God has worked and the way that God has brought so many people to himself out of this tragedy, it brings me a lot of joy. So it's a time of a lot of sadness mixed with a lot of joy, which is even, as you can tell, it's hard for me to articulate. But the result is that God has given us a tremendous historic opportunity to build, not just the church, the number of people in this country who are really surrendered to Jesus, but also a historic opportunity, a once-in-a-century opportunity to build infrastructure that is going to last well beyond my lifetime. Imagine what happens if we put high school and college chapters on almost every campus in all 50 states. That is a base camp for the rest of my life, for many generations, for the truth, for kids to learn about Jesus, for kids to learn about the founding of the country, for kids to learn to value family. Think about the blow that will be long-term to feminism. Think about the blow that will be long-term to socialism. Think about the blow that will be to really any force that tries to oppose the fact that we are a Christian nation. And we will not squander this opportunity because we will be held accountable to God for how we use it.
Josh Tifo, Senior Director for Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action. Have a Merry Christmas with you and your beautiful family. God bless you guys. Appreciate you always coming in. It's 11:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's 11:56 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Ken Weaver in the newsroom, Mason Fleming producing, and in studio with me is Kennedy Hand.
Hello.
And Santa.
Ho, ho, ho.
I thought that the Halloween costumes were a little bit extra, but you're going full bore
I got
for
everything,
Christmas
man.
time.
I have everything.
How come you didn't wear this for Halloween? Like a little teaser.
I know I should have. I thought about that, actually. I thought about that.
I think it's a little bit more spooky than the Halloween costumes
Chris,
you wear.
yes.
I'm not going to lie.
I love me some Halloween. I love me some Santa Claus.
A little Popo Gijo in here.
We were talking about, so I didn't know Elmo's back. Tickle Me Elmo? No, but it's not.
It's Hokey Pokey Elmo. Not a fan.
It's not.
That's all it does is a hokey pokey?
That's it.
I'm surprised kids would even want anything that doesn't involve a screen.
Yeah, I'm with
Right?
you.
And the Labubu's? I thought they were done. I thought that
They're
was
demonic.
last year.
They're satanic.
I thought that was last year.
Still on the top. Still in the top 10.
Now they have clothes and hideouts and playhouses now.
Labubu accessories.
Oh. Because you still don't know what you get, right? You order one and you have no idea what it is. That's the whole point.
I don't know. You're
Except
asking.
that at the painted tree, it has some, like,
You can pick them out.
you can pick them out.
Okay. Because I thought the whole point was you just don't know. You could get the golden ticket.
It's a little
my
spooky.
my friend was like, oh my goodness, I got the golden Labubu. And I was like,
The golden, if it's really made of gold, that'd be nice.
and she was like, look, it has rainbow eyes. And I was like, oh.
The golden
Kennedy's
boo-boo.
suspicious over any rainbow she sees. It's like, what are we talking here? Are we talking God's promise? Or are we talking
we talking
the
weather?
Rainbow Mafia?
I was like, how many colors does it have? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like,
Are we talking the weather? Because the weather makes rainbows too. So, but no, that's and what was the other one? So we had we had Bluey. We had it's Hello Kitty's back.
Hello Kitty is back. Not a fan.
Hello Kitty ebbs and flows though through the years.
I made the point, if you're going to get Japanese toys, it's Pokemon for me. I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah, you are. See, for us, it would be probably for dolls, it'd be Cabbage Patch dolls back in the day.
That was Japanese?
No, but just as far as like a 90s kid, I'm an 80s kid. That was that, For guys, it was probably Stretch Armstrong, and for girls, it was Cabbage Patch.
We had Stretch Armstrongs.
Stretch
the boys have a few Stretch Armstrongs.
I love Stretch.
They put them in the freezer.
in the freezer, and it snapped. One of
And
the
it gets all weird.
Yeah, well, it makes it, because you can really start to, we always like stretch him. And, oh my God, he's leaking. What's it taste like? Oh, it's syrup. Tastes like sugar syrup or something.
Ugh, nasty.
Yeah. So that was what our kids are like, well, so we should take it, we pull it, we do stuff with it, and then what? That's it. So it didn't do anything else.
That's it. That's
Didn't
all
walk,
you do.
didn't talk, didn't do anything. There was nothing.
So what do you think after another day on the air, Kennedy? You think that you could do this full time?
Yes, this is amazing. I love it.
Perfect. We don't have to pay you as much as an adult.
Well, you would have to pay me more than an adult because I'm a kid.
And you're very talented. It's the talent that
How
we're
does that
paying
work?
for.
How was it? You're a kid, so you get paid more.
Well, because it's child labor. So
You got to do it, or she's going to report you.
See, that's the way it is.
Every year when we do the Christmas extravaganza show with Kennedy Hand, we have her close it out with a prayer for everybody for Christmas. Kennedy, could you pray for the audience for their Christmas?
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for the time that we get to spend with family this weekend. Lord, I just pray that we do everything for you, Lord, and that we just glorify you in all that we do, and that we will just follow you and do your good work. And Lord, so we pray, amen.
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 Hey, have a Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll be back here on Monday, and we look forward to it. Don't forget, the Year in Review, Mostly Peaceful podcast is up on the YouTube page. Hit like, hit subscribe, share with your friends. Chad's in next. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.